Hello, welcome to the next game of the True Age World Championship Finals. And for this one, we're doing a special feature because we are commenting on this game with all three people involved. That's Martin Pescher, myself, and Weidenbaum in this game. And yeah, we'll get to the more detailed introduction by Weidenbaum, who is better at this.
Yes, hello and welcome to another video of the World Championship. And as pv4 already said, none of us is alone this day. We are all doing this together. This game will be commentated by all three of us. So I hope that will be something very special for you. And now, from the standings at this point, we won't show them, but I started with two third place in the four-player game. So at this point, I was already a little bit behind, and for me, it would be very important to win. And I think Martin had probably the best start from us three, and could do a very important step into moving even further along in the standings. So I hope you're excited for this, and then welcome pv4, welcome Martin, and maybe we can just start with taking a look at the game.
Okay. Who's going to do the Leader and Wonder introduction? Because PV4 is not doing this usually, I think.
I'm not
And
doing this.
Weidenbaum is doing it. So I think maybe Weiden can do it. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Let's see. We have definitely some theater synergy in H2 and in H3, I think, with Chaplin, Marlene Dietrich, Hollywood, Shakespeare, Bach. So there could be something possible. There are also a set of strong H2 wonders, I would say, with Harvard College Ocean Liner Service in the Suez Canal. We have also Maria Theresa together with the Ocean Liner Service. And there's also some lab synergy with Marie Curie, Steve Jobs, and Sid Meier. So military action leaders are there with Catherine Napoleon in H2 and Joan of Arc and Jan Žižka in H1. Then we also have Leonardo and Gutenberg to maybe set something up with labs or printing presses. Printing presses could be interesting for Shakespeare. Nostradamus is there as well. There's the Silk Road, but no Universitas. Great Wall, but no Emici Castle. Forbidden City, but no St. Peter's Basilica. So a bit of everything in the H1 wonders. And then the pyramids as maybe the strongest HA wonder. And then a bunch of HA leaders. Is there anything else that you like to mention that I maybe didn't mention?
I think I'm learning things about the game as you say it. So no, it's good. I think it's pretty. I agree. I think what's interesting if we go into directly into the game is that they are maybe not the best age A wonders, and only Hanging Gardens is showing up in the card row in a late place. So it's an interesting start because Colosseum not so good. I think not like the most good wonder. I most picked wonder. Hanging Gardens not so good. Acropolis in 3 players maybe. And Pyramid and Roman Roads are probably the two best wonders, but yeah, nothing is showing up except the Hanging Gardens. So I think it changes things up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So should I start talking about my turn?
Yes.
I think this one. Yeah, I think this one. Like it's pretty much. Of course, it's going to be a leader pick because I have one civil action. I'm not going to take the weakest yellow card, patriotism. So it's maybe for me at this point like this. It's maybe between Aristotle, Cleopatra. I think are the two most obvious pick. Cleopatra is good with wonders, and wonders are not so exciting or pretty far down the row. So, and I know Whedon likes Aristotle, so why not take it from away from him? Even though I think PV4 would take Aristotle if I don't take him. So yeah, Aristotle. I think I didn't think too much about this one. Yeah, I think it's a solid pick, and with no edge A wonder to build, it's Aristotle for me easily.
Yeah, I also think Aristotle is the clear pick there. And for me, it's basically one of the other leaders and the patriotism, which is of course a bad card. And I'm going to go with Ash because I think with no wonder on the row, don't really want Hanging Gardens. And with the yellow card in hand, I think Ash is the better of these options.
Yeah,
right. Then there are 2 leaders left for me. I could also just take the Engineering Genius for 3 civil actions, but then I don't know at all what leader I will be getting, what wonder I will be getting, if I maybe have to pay 2 civil actions for one of those things. So I don't like just taking the Engineering Genius, and instead I just went for Cleopatra and the Urban Growth. The Urban Growth is basically only 1 resource less than the Engineering Genius. It's a little bit risky because I don't really know what wonder I will be getting, but thanks to the Urban Growth, there's a good chance that if I will get one, I can maybe very smoothly use Clio's resources a return without having to delay my economy. Only the pyramids could maybe make it a little bit tricky, and I was just hoping that there will be some wonders coming out of the deck and that my Cleopatra will have something to work on.
Yeah, so then... Okay, so then the next turn, it's me with Aristotle. I think, what did I do? I did... yeah, it's a pretty clean turn, I think. You elect, you take... it's useless to elect Aristotle right away, but I have nothing better to do. Urban growth, population, and mines. It's maybe urban growth is the only decision to make, but yeah, between this, it's pretty clean, I think. Maybe engineering genius for 2, but I don't know. It's not so exciting with no wonder inside because there is only Acropolis that got revealed. So I don't really care about the engineering genius. I just take the resource.
Yeah. And then for me, it's basically the same. I also don't really want to take the EG for 2, especially with Ash. I want to preserve my civil actions. I'm not going to take the Hanging Gardens. There is no Machu Picchu on the row, and none of us has wonders, so that's interesting. Yeah, but I'm not going to pay 3 for that either, so I'm just taking this frugality. Yeah, and not taking the Hanging Gardens because I don't like it, and just wait for another wonder. Even Acropolis would be better with Ash, I think, than Hanging Gardens.
Yeah, I think it's a solid turn.
Yeah, for my turn, I was happy that I had now the chance to grab the Engineering Genius for just 1 civil action, and there's actually another H1 wonder coming down the road, a Forbidden City. With that, I was not really willing to take the Hanging Gardens with Cleopatra. Of course, it would guarantee that I have a wonder available, but at the next turn, it will also guarantee that one of the other 3 wonders that are coming down the row will be available for me. All of them would be fine. I probably would prefer to get maybe one of the H1 wonders, but the Acropolis could also definitely be better than nothing with having Cleopatra, and also probably I would prefer it over the Hanging Gardens. And so I didn't grab the Hanging Gardens, just went for Engineering Genius, built a second lab, and then now I was curious to see what wonder there will be waiting for me at the next turn.
So, okay, so for my turn, I have cultural heritage and enslave. I'm sorry, cultural influence and enslave. So I seed I'm first place. I think you can see the cultural influence. It's nothing special. Just seed it. You see what's going on, if you have resource or not. And then I get extra science, which is maybe a little bit redundant with Aristotle, but always good to take. And yeah, take the Machu Picchu. I think for 2, it's better than the Hanging Garden. It's better than the Acropolis. I want to get started. And it's a little bit risky, maybe taking a naked Machu Picchu, because you want either you really want iron and you often want irrigation, but I'm willing to take the risk. I'm willing with Aristotle. Often you have 5 CA pretty fast, so maybe I can pay an expensive price for iron. Maybe I can pay 3 for iron if I can get my 5th CA pretty fast. So yeah, I think Machu Picchu is fine in this place. I think it's a pretty clear pick
Yeah, I
here
agree.
for me.
I also think it's fine to take this early because it's just so strong to finish this early,
Yeah,
even for
indeed,
the
yeah,
risk,
yeah.
the risk you're taking.
And even if someone denies it, it's going to be very costly because it's going to be maybe a free CA deny. So even if you lose, you win. So yeah, and I think it's fine. And you can live with 1 resource, like not both irrigation iron. I think you can live with it with a fast Machu Picchu. It's actually okay.
Yes.
And to finish, I'm sorry, with Aristotle, I think it's particularly good to have Machu Picchu because oftentimes you lack science. It's hard to develop everything, and Aristotle offset this a little bit. So yeah, it's a good Machu Picchu, I think, with Aristotle.
Then my hand has knowledge of the ancients, and it's actually an interesting card here because none of us picked an HA wonder, so I'm going to seed it. I don't think anybody will take the Acropolis in this game because actually a third H1 wonder appeared on the row. And so now I think all of us will have an H1 wonder to start. I think Forbidden City and Silk Road are both very fine first wonders. And so nobody will build an HA wonder probably. And then so we're getting knowledge of the ancients, but not a whole lot of knowledge. And then for my turn, yeah, I built the lab, of course, and then I took the Code of Laws for 3. I don't actually have to take any of these wonders for 2 or 3 civil actions because Forbidden City will drop to 1 for Weidenbaum like this, and he will most likely take it for 1. And then the Silk Road will just drop for me on 1 civil action, so I don't have to spend any extra civil actions on taking the wonder. And yeah, after that, I think the Code of Laws is just the best card here to take for a lot of actions. I don't want cartography or drama at this point. I could take Monarchy plus the rich land, that would maybe be a little more value. But yeah, then my hand is also full, and I do like Code of Laws quite a bit more than Monarchy at this point. So, and yeah, taking the card in hand also gives Ashoka the rock bonus now.
But I think I've seen you do this many times in many games, like turn 2 or 3, I don't know what it is, turn 3, going for 3 CA important card. So is it like something you like to do often? Because I think I've seen you do this like 3 or 4 different games, going big for Code of Laws or Irons early on.
Yeah, I think I only do this for Code of Laws and Iron, and it's just the way the board comes up sometimes. There's still HA cards here. The cards in this area are just not that interesting to me, and then it just happens that I do this because not much alternative I think. It's not really something I aggressively do or intend to do, but yeah, it just happens.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Right. Then for my turn, the only event I had in hand is the inhabited territory, and I will end up not taking the cartography. There is a Suez Canal, so I definitely don't want to seed this into the deck. And no, then for the turn, as much as I love an early Silk Road, I can't just grab it for 3 civil actions here. That would be way too expensive, especially with the Forbidden City being there for 1 civil action. So I just build my mine, get a resource production going, go for the Forbidden City, will use the resource of Clio, and then I have to use my last civil action to get out of corruption. I can either do this with increasing my population or with building another stage of the Forbidden City, and I made a decision to go for the stage because then I don't get into consumption early, and especially with having the 2 ignored unhappy workers from the Forbidden City, I don't think it's too important, or it would be too bad if I miss out on the religion, and with that on the free religion, so with that I just stayed out of consumption for now without a free population and built a second step of the Forbidden City to do this turn and get out of corruption.
Yeah, I think it's a good start to have a Clio and Forbidden City. You can already it's pretty I don't know, it's pretty fearsome, I think, because you use your extra rock easily. You have extra civil action, so you can take maybe your urban building after. So yeah, I think it was a pretty strong start for you.
Yes, I was not unhappy about this. Yes.
Only thing is that maybe there won't be much to do with Clio after, so maybe you have to replace her now soon because there's really only Great Wall or Alchemist to get something else going after this.
No,
that's right. Yeah, but I think it's maybe the first time that I remember that all 3 players skip AJ Wonders. I think I've never seen a game like that. So yeah, I think it was really funny for the finals to have a game where we have 3 players with no AJ Wonders. Oftentimes it's like 1 player, maybe 2 once in a while, but all 3 players. I think I've never seen a game like this. So
yeah, I think different. It's also a first time for me. I think yes.
So for my turn, I have it's already starting to look good for me because I have vast territory and cartography for 1. I won't say I didn't like this one. So yeah, I see the immediately cartography, vast territory, first position. It's it's a dream, I think. But I first I developed monarchy because I have the I have the science to do it. Maybe a bit luckily. No, I didn't need the event to do it, but yeah, monarchy is very good. The extra CA for Aristotle, so you can take extra technology, so you can have extra science. And then of course for the rest, I take the cartography, keep it in my hand, and start building the Machu Picchu. I don't remember exactly why I started building instead of doing something else, but yeah, and then I do the temple because I had I think a food problem with corruption, so I had to do some things to get out of corruption, and yeah, I think if I go 2 stages, it doesn't work because I have so I had to do the temple. It was temple or nothing, or I had to change all my turn. So yeah, I bite the cost of the temple. It's not the best, but yeah, maybe yeah. I think I had no choice, or
it's the
it
only
was
way to
not
get
smooth.
out of corruption, I think, is building the stage and a temple.
Yeah,
Or
because
I can't build a third lab even because then you don't have the happy. So no.
Yeah, no, it was the extra food was pretty annoying for me because it changed. It was. I was a bit stuck with this one, so I built the temple. I think it was not such a bad thing. It was okay, but yeah, not that the best, of course. But you do what you gotta do to stay out of corruption, I guess.
Yeah, I think on my turn I also built a temple. So
Oh,
I
so
had the
it's a game of first times, I think, because two
yeah.
players building temples like that.
Yeah, I had the same problem. So going to my turn then.
Yeah,
So
Silk
yeah,
Road is not easy. Yeah.
I get to develop the code of laws. So yeah, another thing, the code of laws is really nice with having Silk Road and Ash, both cards really like an extra civil action. So yeah, that's also a reason to take the code of laws for 3. And the signs as the extra as the first event also made sure that I can develop it. And then yeah, I have to increase population twice and indeed build a temple. Building a stage of the Silk Road is not enough because it's one less rock cost and one blue token going there, so that doesn't work. So I also have to build a temple, and sadly it means Ash is now deactivated because I can't take the swordsman, for example, because I have to do like 2 population increases, build a temple, and yeah, I want to take the Silk Road, and yeah, I want to develop
No.
Code of Laws, of course. So, yeah.
What about like taking more cards and having corruption, but using Ashoka because it offsets it a little bit, you know? I think maybe something could have been done like that. I don't know if it's better than the temple but I really had building temples like that. So maybe just going for swordsman and yeah, taking corruption, but at half price.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
don't
would
know.
still lose 1 rock, of course, but yeah, I don't think building the temple is the absolute
So bad.
worst. I think Joan is in the game. Yeah, Joan is in the game, so and Bach as well. So there are some reasons that the temple is not the worst. Also, I have Silk Road, so just getting some culture production going could be nice. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
not
okay.
the end of the world. It helps some events as well. Weidenbaum has a Forbidden City. You could see the rebellion, so that's also a thing.
Yeah, I think it was fine, but just wondering, like if it's hard to remember all our terms. I think a little while after that.
I have no idea what I was thinking at the time. So.
Yeah, okay, I know the feeling.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my hand has 2 colonies, which I'm definitely not seeding since Martin has the cartography and Suez is in the game and the raiders. So I think I discard one of the colonies.
Yeah, I was actually a little
Actually, the
bit
raiders.
unhappy to see you both building a temple because I have drawn a potentially interesting event, a rebellion, which works nicely with my Forbidden City, and so I was maybe hoping that this could do some damage to you, but you would now preemptively build some temples for that. But I still seeded it in any way. Maybe it can still do some damage, and it just gives me a little bit knowledge about the event deck. The development of planning is revealed, and one of the options is actually the development of religion, which I sadly have to miss out on, but it's maybe not too bad because while you both now build a religion, so the religion is maybe also not that great for both of you, and I just ended up taking the development of agriculture. And now it is also a little bit tricky for me to get out of corruption. I will build one stage of the Forbidden City to use Cleo's resources. Then, of course, I also want to finish the Wonder, increase my population 2 times. That gets me out of corruption now. Then I have 1 civil action left. I could, of course, think maybe about just taking the Swordsman, but at the end I actually went for Leonardo, because I think he has maybe some nice potential here. And mainly because now with the development of agriculture, I have some additional food. I have the Forbidden City and the ignored unhappy workers. And with that, I was thinking that not only alchemies would work well now with Leonardo, but also the printing presses. There's Shakespeare later on in the game, and I think it could maybe be an interesting situation to maybe just set up on printing press. And I thought it's maybe not that unlikely that one of those 4 copies of alchemy and printing presses will appear on the road relatively soon. And then I think Leonardo has the potential to offer me a big economical benefit. Also, building one of those buildings is also nice to use Cleo's resources anyway. And with that, I think Leonardo is just a nice pick for one civil action, because I think there's a good chance that he will produce me some nice value, and I don't have a tactic for the swordsman in hand yet. And with that, rather didn't want to grab them in case there's no alchemy or printing press on the row at the next turn. I was eyeing the Great Wall that is coming down the row. That might give me the opportunity to use Cleo's resources, and I think it's generally just quite a good wonder if you maybe can build it without too much problems, and could maybe help me with the strength. So yeah, I thought if maybe none of those urban buildings will be available for me at the next turn, I can maybe go for Great Wall, and if maybe an alchemy or printing press is available, I can set up some very strong science production very quickly.
Right. Yeah, no, I think like printing presses sometimes in some like aggressive games it can be a bit risky, but here with big wonders to build, like Age 1 wonders, they are harder to build. I think strength doesn't seem to be like the most likely immediately, so yeah, you can aim at printing presses, and you could be fine in this one. I think it's not the most aggressive early game, but we will see. So for myself, I'm going to seed the Crusades. I have Crusades. I draw a defense card, so it's very good with the vast territory I want to win. So yeah, extra resource, it's actually very good for me because it means I have 7. 7 means I can finish the Machu Picchu, which is very good. This early, it's like turn 5, I have Machu Picchu. My science, I have extra CA. My science is looking good. It's pretty good, even if it's just 1 extra. It's like an Ashoka with both resources all the time. It's pretty good, I think. Oftentimes, I don't like Machu Picchu because I have trouble finishing it and making it happen. But when it's this quick, it's very, very strong, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, then after, what do I do? I take the Bread and Circus because it's extra science, and I don't know, there was maybe a reason for this. Yeah, there could be at one moment, I don't know. And I have nothing really interesting to take. Warfare maybe, but it's not most important. The most important is just yeah, I need an extra science, so it was either Warfare or Bread and Circus. So yeah, I thought we already have 3 CA, 3 MA. I can go Bread and Circus, secure my yellow, my happy faces situation, and just develop the cartography. So I am the strongest. I have the cartography and vast territory in the deck, so it looks pretty good for me, I think, at this turn.
I think the Bread and Circus is a little bit odd, having religion already, even with Pierre.
Yeah,
Do you
maybe.
consider this
Yeah. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, like you think I should have gone like maybe theology or warfare?
Theology looks okay to me actually here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with John
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah, maybe theology would have been better this way. It's possible that Bread and Circus is just a long shot, but yeah, since Bread and Circus is a like between quote better card than theology, maybe I took it without thinking too much about it. But maybe with Joan of Arc, I think I didn't pay too much attention about it. But yeah, maybe you're right, and theology was indeed better. I don't know, but yeah, I think you're right.
Okay. Then on my turn, So yeah, my only events are the 2 territories, which I'm not going to cede, and then I have to increase population, again get out of corruption somehow, which is still a bit annoying hard. So I built a 3rd farm, but the good thing is Zizka is here and I have a fighting band in hand. So I can, if I want to go for 2 fighting bands later on, I will keep Ash active for now. But then the 3rd farm is also nice with Zizka, so that's actually fine to build here. And then I also take the knights in case I can find a tactic with it and they're available for 1 civil action. And then I'll build the first step of the Silk Road. I'm discarding both of the territories, like I said, especially with the cartography they've developed already. I'm definitely not going to see those. And now I have the full Ashoka bonus, and from next turn on I have Silk Road active, so the patriotism might even be useful at some point.
Mhm. Yeah, good thing you have 5 CA, because with Silk Road and Ashoka, it's not always easy to get out of corruption. I think you need so much things to do.
Especially because there's no iron or alchemy or something to put the resources in, which makes it difficult to get out of corruption sometimes.
Yeah.
For my turn, I'm not the weakest when I'm seeding, and I have an event in hand that most likely won't do any damage for me. The Barbarians, at the moment it looks like pv4 might have the most culture, with the Silk Road soon to finish and Jan Shishka in hand. So I just seeded the Barbarians in the deck, and the Knowledge of the Ancients is revealed, which is definitely a funny event to see with only those H1 wonders in play. So I gain 1 additional science out of it. And now, for this turn, we can see that Printing Press and Alchemy are coming down the road, but both of them are only available for expensive. I was hoping that one of those copies will be available for my next turn, and so I don't take one of those for 3, of course. I, for a moment, considered if I maybe want to take the iron for 3 just to deny it from Martin, but it's the first copy. I don't know if the second one will maybe appear just immediately afterwards or maybe later on. So, and Martin is also playing before pv4, maybe has the better chances than pv4 to take the second copy, and it would just be very expensive. I would miss out on the Great Wall, which I think is quite strong here with Cleo. So it's of course not great to see that Martin has now the chance to get the iron going, but I was not willing to go for denial or anything. Instead, I will just go for the Great Wall. Now I also have some troubles to get out of corruption. I thought about maybe also joining the building religion stuff, but
Temple Crew.
yeah, the Temple Crew, but at the end I made a different decision, instead build 2 stages of the Great Wall and the Warrior. That at least makes sure that I'm not the weakest after my turn. The Warriors will be quite nice with the Great Wall in play. I was a little bit worried because I didn't have any Legion or Fighting Band tactic available, and I'm missing out on 1 draw now. But no, I still thought it was maybe nice to not be the weakest, and the Warrior hopefully will still be somewhat nice to have with the Great Wall, and so that turn was somewhat fixed, because to get out of corruption I have to build the 2 steps, so then I can't really take out of any of those other cards for 1 civil action. I don't think any of those cards is really needed for me, and so I just basically went for Great Wall and built a Warrior to get out of corruption.
Yeah, I think it's a decent turn, and like now that I look at the game again, I think it's very funny because it's only Edge 1 wonders. There are like no usual production Edge 1 building like iron, irrigation, alchemy. There is nothing coming down the card row until very late, and we can't even take yellow cards instead because we were all suffering from corruption problems. So I think it's a very strange game, like unusual in little touches, yeah, not often you have like no option for building, so you have to build temples for the irrigation, starting new wonders. I don't know. I think it was funny.
Yeah, and we even don't have HA wonders, so the H1
Yeah,
wonders are generally harder for corruption.
yeah.
And yeah, kind of funny
Yeah.
indeed. And also all the HA events pretty much gave extra stuff. There was trade routes, markets, and then some more of those.
Yeah,
No,
all of them, and no civil life.
no
So it's
civil life,
it's
no
it's the
settlement.
worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it can be worse than that. I think no settlement, no civil life. It's yeah, it's like the corruption game, and you have Ashoka, so it's not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So here I see the code of law. I don't know what I'm first. I want to seed because I want to see the vast territory coming. So I'm the strongest, even though I think it doesn't seem like there are many strength events. But yeah, I seed it anyway. I want the vast. And wait a second, it's stuck for me.
And the cultural influence came out, which wasn't very impactful, of course.
Yeah, it was pretty much nothing. So here I take the iron, of course, because it's too good to pass. And then there's this little drama, like which is pretty redundant with Bread and Circus, but it's fine with Shakespeare and Bach. And I'm saying Bach, but it's Bach in French. But I trust the German on this one, so it's Bach. And drama is pretty redundant, I think, but it's fine with the
you get
leaders.
the fifth science for the iron.
Yeah, that's why I took it.
Yeah.
I had no choice. I need the extra science. It's there, so I'm going to take it. There is no choice, and then you can just develop the iron. I think it's a pretty obvious turn. There is not much decision here.
Yeah, that's true. Then in my turn, I have my event in hand is in certain borders, and I think I'm going to seed it now, if I remember correctly. No, actually, I'm going to see it later. I'm offering trade routes agreement. So I have the extra third farm, and I have Ashoka, so I have some extra food lying around. Could be nice to use that as rocks sometimes, and I offer it to Weidenbaum, who accepts it.
Yeah. I had to think a little bit about this if I really want to accept it, because I thought you might get some nice value out of it, maybe use some food that you otherwise would have just lying around anyway. But with the help of the pact, I hopefully will be able, not at the following turn, but in 2 turns, to increase my population before the end of the age. Without the pact, I might just be stuck at an amount of food, so I will have an additional population, and I think that could be quite valuable, because at this point I already thought about if maybe, even though the alchemies are coming down the road, that I maybe want to go for printing presses, in which case the population could be nice to have, and also with the Great Wall, maybe putting another population into military could be interesting, so I thought at the end that it is also offering enough benefits for me, and decided to accept the pact.
So yeah, I get to spend 4 civil actions completing the Silk Road, and I also use the Frugality A with the bonus from Silk Road. And I think I used the pact here, yeah, so I got 2 extra food out of the Frugality as well, and I can complete this pretty clean turn, I think. Again, the cards on non-civil action just aren't that good. Yeah, there is an iron here now for 2, but I probably don't even get out of corruption properly if I take it. And this is just a nice turn. I get a Silk Road going, go to 4 culture production here because I actually got a second religion from the event as well. And I'll have Zitska, which will also be at least +2 culture. So I'm actually setting up for a decent culture start. Again, there was nothing like alchemies or ions available early on, so it's gonna be a kind of low production game, and it could be nice to have a culture advantage instead. And at least thanks to Ash, I still actually have the extra food and rocks. So with the Silk Road, I also now have an extra science income. So my economy is currently actually, as long as Ash is here, going pretty well, and hopefully I find something to invest in after this.
I think it's fine to skip iron if you have Silk Road. I think iron is a little bit lower priority because you often can offset the lack of rocks with the bonus from the Silk Road. So I think it's it's a clean turn, and even in general you can skip iron a little bit more maybe with Silk Road, and even more if you have like Ashoka lying around. But what about electing this now and going for the formation to be strongest? Did you consider this one or?
Not really. I think I still have my event in there. No, actually, Knowledge of the Ancient is already out. I don't know if you have another event. But my Ash is active now, and I don't think anybody else looked to be going for strength yet. So I thought the first event deck would be quite tame, and then I just wanted to guaranteed value of 1 rock and 1 food from Ash. I can probably keep him for another turn after this, even if things don't escalate. So I just wanted a certain value.
Okay.
Yeah, also you have the knowledge about maybe the worst strength event at least, so
Yeah.
you can't get hit by the uncertain borders.
I also discarded Raiders at some point, not the worst one, but still one that isn't in there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it makes sense if you have like a read and you think it's nothing too dangerous. Even if you lose like a population with Ashoka, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. It's a good turn.
Yeah, and then for my turn, there were now finally an alchemy and a printing press available for me, and now I had to make a decision which one of those I want to go for. But first I seeded, and it was a little bit of a risky seed. Put the Fray into the deck. I thought that hopefully I will be able to be one of the two strongest with having the Great Wall. On the other hand, I don't have a tactic right now, so I wasn't certain if I should put it into the deck, especially with pv4 having Jan Žižka. But at the end, I decided to take the risk and wanted to move the deck forward, especially because at the moment I am the strongest and knows, even though I didn't really thought that it would be the case, it definitely could potentially be that maybe a strength event is in the deck. And so I pushed the Fray, but it of course could backfire a little bit. And then I definitely wanted to start activating Leonardo this turn. And normally it would just be a very fine turn to go for the alchemy, and it probably would also be in this situation, just get a bunch of science going, being able to go for 2 upgrades, being at 5 science production. But with having the ability to hopefully, unless the pact is cancelled or maybe rats are revealed, which is definitely a bit of a risk, but if this doesn't happen, I will get another population out at the next turn. And with this, I was thinking that maybe a printing press could actually be very interesting to consider in this situation, because there's Shakespeare in H2, potentially setting myself up for a very interesting leader, and also just making sure that I maybe don't fall behind in culture too much, especially pv4 is producing a lot at the moment. And with that, I in the end indeed ended up going for printing presses. Also, I have the Great Wall, which will maybe help me defending myself a little bit. Definitely is a play that could potentially backfire, but at the end, I kind of wanted to have this printing press, hoping that maybe with the additional population, I can just build a second one, and then that is just quite a bit better than going for 2 alchemy upgrades. But of course, with the risk that maybe I could get punished with the military. So it was a close call for me, but I think in this situation, the printing presses might be interesting. I will miss out on the iron, but it's already relatively late. And if I want to set up either a printing press or the alchemy and get out of corruption, I have only 1 civil action left at the end. Or none, now that I finished the Great Wall, so I was not too happy about skipping it, but it's also not too bad, I think. And I will just, with the last 2 civil actions, finish the Great Wall. I could have also thought about building a second printing press, but I think that would be a bit too risky, because if I, for some reason, will lose a population, either to rats or pestilence or anything else, then it could be a bit greedy, and I just finished the Great Wall, making sure that I'm the strongest and not committing the population yet.
That's an interesting choice, this one. But with 14 signs already, I can definitely see it. I don't know if I would have done it, but it's definitely possible indeed.
Yeah, it's close. It's close. I think. Yeah, like I think I wouldn't have been so scared about the military because with a great role, and I think you're pretty safe. Like the swordsman coming too, maybe no one will take them. I don't know. I think you have a lot of chances. And if it goes like really bad, you can disband the philosophy and build some other swordsman. I think it was fine going for the printing presses, and maybe the culture getting behind early. It's always annoying. So I think I can get this one. Maybe I would have gone alchemy too, be out of habit maybe, but I think the printing press is fine. Maybe with Darwin it would be, or Gaudi as a H2 leader, it would have been a little bit more obvious. With just Shakespeare, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fine.
was definitely a clear close call for me. So I was not really sure when I ended my turn what is actually better, but then I just thought maybe the printing press was the more interesting play, and so I just went with it.
Yeah, it's oftentimes it's like that. Like it's close and it's early game, and you want to, I don't know, you want, maybe you want to, at least I do that myself. You want to follow your gut. You want to play this card. You feel it's the like the game you want to play at this time, and you do it. And yeah, It's when it's close, just follow your gut. I think it's a good way to play. It's more like agreeable, funny this way, maybe.
Also, if it's close, you can't be very wrong. So if you're wrong, then
Hmm.
only a little bit. So whatever.
Yeah,
No.
you're absolutely right. There are many decisions, and it's easy to agonize over very small things. I know I do that at the end of H3, but if you start to agonize about little things that in H1, it's going to be a very long term. So yeah, is it my turn? It's my turn. I see the dark edges here. What do I do? Yeah, dark edges, I think. Oh, no, yeah. Did I see it called one? Is it like turn 7? Yeah, I see the dark edges. Here, I do something maybe a little bit strange. Like in my hand, I have like what they call medieval army, phalanx, and heavy cavalry. So all three horse tactics, I have them. So, and I think I'm in a very good position. Like, I have my match P2 going. I'm going to be able to have I have civil action. I have vast territory that I'm probably going to win soon because no one is going very strong with military. I have 2 defense cards, so I think I'm going to have vast territory and like a good setup. At least iron, probably irrigation too. So the only thing I'm scared of is military. So instead of going for more obvious card like I don't know, Code of Law or direct irrigation, I just go for the knights for free, which is pretty expensive, but it's like an insurance policy. I know that I'm going to win vast territory, so I can just then spam medieval armies or heavy cavalries. No, maybe phalanx. Maybe I'm going to reveal phalanx after. I don't remember, but yeah, I start. I reveal phalanx. I think in this term because I'm only scared of military at this point. I have many unused technology card, as you can often happen with Aristotle. But yeah, I just paid the price for the night and hope it's not going. Yeah, I think it was also a close call, but I don't know. If I don't go for knights, I don't know what I'm going to do if someone start to push our military. So knights it is, and yeah, then I just go for the alchemy. So I have like I hope to have like the edge one setup with irrigation, iron, and alchemy, and hope it can carry me to with the extra yellow I'm going to probably get. Hope it's going to be enough in H2 to make some stuff happen.
I don't think I'd have the discipline to take knights for 3 here. I'd just be upgrading alchemies or whatever.
It's the final, so I have to keep myself in check and play like. So it's like when you have a turn and you think about it and you feel you need to do something. It's you can like you can feel like what would Weidenbaum do, and he would probably do this like be safe, do the right play, defend.
Yeah.
As you should do. So I did a little of what would Weidenbaum do, or what I imagine he would do, and I played like I paid the cost, and I think it was a smart choice in this case.
Yeah, you're also up against potential Zitska here, Great Wall, so there
Yeah,
is
it's
some
scary for me.
potential.
And I think on the Stradabus is already has already disappeared. So yeah, it's I needed something, and I had all the horse tactics. So yeah, I paid the price. I think it was the right choice in this case.
On my turn, then, this time I'll see the uncertain borders, and the deck is about to flip because now I'm going for Chichka.
Oh, you have the medieval now. Okay.
Yeah, I have one medieval as well. I have drawn that last turn, so I can now also go for a horse tactic. Yeah, fast territory, I don't have anything here. And yeah, Martin wins it for the 2 cards, so basically free. And I'll develop the knights now, and then just build 2 medieval armies, I suppose, like Vichichka. And that brings me to 9 strength. I think I also used the patriotism actually somewhere in between. So I got 2 MAs and 2 rocks for it thanks to the Silk Road. And yeah, the Iron is available for 1 and the EG as well. So 2 good cards here, which I'm going to pick up. Next turn I can go for Irons if I want to. I know I'm producing 6 culture like I said, so no upgrades at all, but at least I'm producing culture and I'm at 9 strength and hopefully can win the uncertain borders maybe. There is a little problem here that next turn the H will have ended and I'll lose 2 yellow tokens, but I'm probably going to just discard this, disband this warrior, or maybe the uncertain borders will already, that would be the ideal case that I get an extra token from the uncertain borders, or maybe some other event even.
Yeah, I was very happy. I'm sorry, I was very happy when I saw you push the medieval army that I did the knights for free because then I would have been very in very big trouble. And I don't know if you remember, but a previous game we played where when you went like Colossus and you just buried me again and again. So maybe I remember this one, and I thought like, no, you're not going to aggress me all over twice. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm such an aggressive player.
Also, I think it was quite a nice use out of the patriotism A, first taking it with Ashoka and then now using it with the Silk Road. And no, I think it's starting to become maybe one of your more favorite cards because I think you already took it in one of the earlier games of the finals. So
Yes,
no.
yes. I think already in 3 in the finals or something.
Oh, wow.
Maybe even 4. It's crazy. Like it just kept coming. It's haunting me.
At my turn, I had a difficult decision to do about the seeding because I kind of want to seed because I'm one of the 2 strongest and I pushed the Foray into the deck. But the only card that I can seed is the developed territory. And Marta Bashir has now won his first colony. I have 2 colonization cards, but sadly I couldn't prevent him from winning this one. And now with already 1 colony in the Suez Canal in play, I think it can be quite punishing if I just put another colony in there and it helps him to get a very, very big Suez Canal later on. And at the end, I made a decision against seeding because there would be some other events that would be a bit annoying. For example, rats would mean that I can't use the pack to get an additional population out. And also, both of you are relatively low in science, and I don't have knowledge about Dark Ages. I have a lot of science saved up, and I have a way to spend a lot of science this turn. And with that, I at the end made a decision to not seed. I will go for the Code of Laws. I think that looks like a very natural choice with having that much science. And then I also went for the Monarchy, just investing all of my science into it. And I think that is just quite nice with the Forbidden City and the Code of Laws. I'm now with the monarchy in 7 civil actions, which should be sufficient for quite a while. And I think it's just quite nice when you didn't find the time to upgrade your production yet to maybe at least have it already out of the way to have your government form going. Otherwise, you maybe are a little bit overloaded in H2 with all of the things that you have to do. And now I have my government form and can maybe just concentrate in H2 to at some point get the coal going and maybe then add either selective breeding or the ocean liner and have a lot of civil actions to work with. And I also am nicely prepared for the Dark Ages now. So I think going for both of those things was quite natural. Also, then I used Pact, increased my population to get out of corruption, and then basically the decision was between Swordsman or Breakthrough. I could have also taken both of those cards, not increased my population, and then build a warrior to get out of corruption. That also could have been interesting. I don't need a warrior to defend against an aggression thanks to my 2 colonization cards, but it could be nice to get the breakthrough because getting into coal and all the other stuff, even though I have good science production, could still be a bit expensive. But there could then again be rats revealed or something that could make it that I maybe can't use the pact, and especially with now having committed to printing presses, I really wanted to get this population out. And so at the end, I went for Swordsman over the breakthrough because I know that a foray is coming, and with that, I just want to make sure that I have ways to hopefully secure that I can be one of the 2 strongest. And yeah, so at the end, that was my turn, and I was definitely not unhappy how it is looking with having that many civil actions now. But now I just have to see that I maybe can also get some nice production going in H2.
Yeah, I think like starting H1 soon, H2 soon. Sorry, we all 3 we have like something interesting going on. You have like a lot of civil action, 2 wonders, good military potential. I have soon a very big production now with the irrigation coming too, so it's like the perfect Machu Picchu and some extra science coming. and pv4 has Silk Road and civilization 2, maybe a military potential. So everyone has some good things going, and and culture, of course. So it's an interesting, like, it's a good setup for an interesting H2, I think. And like for this one, so of course I don't see that I have border conflict and medieval army, because I used all my other cards to get the vast territory. I have a lot of food. I'm very afraid about rats, but this turn I'm not going to see it anyway. But I'm very afraid about the rats, and I will be afraid for a long time, I think, because both players no irrigation, low food. It's always scary. And I got hit by rat, I think, in other games. So I don't know. Maybe it stays in the mind. So I just go food, develop the knights instead of the irrigation of the or the alchemy, because I need to defend, and I have the opportunity to be strongest, so, and to be even stronger the turn after with a medieval army. So instead of being greedy and going for development, I think maybe it was an easy choice against nine strength, just going for the military and taking the irrigation. So again, strange things happening in this game. To break through maybe the best yellow card of the edge one. To breakthrough not taken. With Aristotle, it makes sense. With other leaders, not often. So to break through in the row and not taking one doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
But this one I just need to use my population, take the irrigation, and it's pretty much my turn.
Yeah, this whole turn is basically forced. You have to increase population 3 times. You have to develop the knights, and you have to take irrigation. So
Sometimes it's like watching it again, I try to think again, but this one maybe I had like no choice, and I have the opportunity to be first in strength, so it's just an easy turn.
Yeah. I don't have any event to push, unfortunately, so it means I will also, the age will end now, and I also have to disband a warrior to have to solve the uprising problem. I'll also go for the iron now. Not going to wait for coal. I'm pretty low on science anyway, so, and I still need a government as well, so no point in waiting for coal here. I'll just go for 2 iron upgrades, and like I said, I have to disband the warrior. And then I have 2 actions left, and think it's pretty clear. Like, I take the breakthrough, of course, and then I'll also take the warfare, because the first card of H2 is actually Republic. Both opponents already are on monarchy, so this will pretty certainly come to me. And then when I have that in hand, I can at some point set up for a revolution. And then it will be nice to have the warfare in hand, because I'll be on Republic. My third action currently comes from Vitska. And what's also really nice about this is that I'll be on a high civil action. I will be on 8 civil actions after that, which is nice with the Silk Road, and which is also nice with having a culture advantage, because you want to play a civil game, let's say, not a military game, and then you don't need to set up for wars late game if you're ahead on culture. So it's nice to have the high civil action set up then.
I think it's a good term, like normal, and seeing the Republic early on like that, so in the opposition, I think it's exactly what you want. You can you're going to have it. There are plenty full of governments in H2, but seeing one at the first card, I think in your position is exactly what you need with the extra military. It's perfect.
At my turn, I probably do a mistake at my politics action. I definitely don't want to push, as I have knowledge about of rain, as I'm the weakest. But I think I should have used this politics action to cancel that Raid Roots Agreement pact, because pv4 is just 1 food lying around, is producing +1 food, and can on very nicely transform this into 1 additional resource. But I just forgot about it. Just sometimes so easy to forget canceling a pact, and that was definitely something I missed out on. I think I realized it immediately after I ended my turn, which is of course always a bit frustrating. But now I was kind of hoping that maybe the Good Harvest will be revealed soon, as that would justify my decision in hindsight to maybe keep the pact. And then for my turn, with knowing that the Fray is in there, made a decision to go for swordsman. I will go for 2 upgrades, or building one upgrade, and then later on in the turn it will be a decision for me on whether to build a swordsman or just upgrade one. Before that I will take 2 yellow cards. The Richland will be very nice to help me getting into coal. The revolutionary idea will be nice because it allows me to potentially go for coal already at the next turn, so I took it over the patriotism. And yeah, then the question is, what do I do with my last population? Do I want to build an additional swordsman, or do I rather want to put it into the printing press? And then I can just upgrade one warrior to swordsman, which would also make me one of the 2 strongest. And at the end I went for building the printing press, because if I just build a swordsman, first of all, I don't really have a nice use for my last civil action, so that one might get wasted anyway. Taking the masonry is maybe already not the greatest thing to do, with already having built 2 printing presses, having 2 wonders, and maybe only bronze productions, or going for another wonder might not be that easily possible. But there are some interesting wonders, like the ocean liner service. I have Leonardo, could maybe generate an additional resource from it, so I thought a masonry might still be fine to take. And with that, I at the end took the risk and went for the printing press for the additional 1 science and 1 culture production. It will just generate a nice amount of value over the next turns. And I was looking at pv4 civilization, was hoping that he doesn't find an easy way to get stronger in the next few turns, hoping that my 9 strength are now enough for a while to make sure that I'm one of the 2 strongest and prepared for the fray. And then I didn't have any knowledge about strength events that rewards the strongest. Of course, there might be some in there, but I just didn't have knowledge about them. And with that, I went for the printing press, especially because the last civil action I couldn't really use in a nice way anyway. So it was again a close decision. But no, again, at the end, I rather wanted to have the printing press instead of going for the additional swordsman.
Yeah, it's not like you had like many choices. I think like if you look at the printing press, you can do it like all the cards on the second row. You can take them. It's so yeah. What are you going to do with this? I think it's a good choice. And the masonry for one, I think I would take it all the time. It's for 3 science. It's always worth it, even if you have 2 wonders. Even if you have I don't know. It's for 3 science. It's very very good. I think it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
also
with
having
Leonardo, I think.
yeah.
and yeah, with Shakespeare, like it makes like a big difference if you have a masonry or if you don't have a masonry. It's so if you're aiming Shakespeare later, I think it's the perfect card you want, even though you don't use the value, but even though it's very good, I think. So
No.
here I'm going to see like the border conflict. I think. Yeah, I have to see the border conflict. So Call to Arms is revealed. It was my event. It was something. Yeah, it was one. Yeah, what else did I have? Border conflict. Yeah, and Dark Ages, maybe Dark Ages, but no. Anyway, I was first, so I see it's it's normal. And Border conflict looks good because I'm going to go to 11 strand with my medieval army. Here's the decision. It was between irrigation and alchemies. Usually, you want to go for irrigation to trigger the Machu Picchu have double value. But if I go for the irrigation, I'm going to miss science the next turns. My hand is already full of science cards, so I want to improve my science production. Maybe there's like a scientific breakthrough in the deck. Yeah, I think going for alchemy instead of the more obvious irrigation is a good idea. Because yeah, I need the science to develop some things, and it's what I'm missing right now. Food, I don't really miss that right now. What I'm going to do with extra food, maybe do twice population and build an extra something. So yeah, no. Even though it's Machu Picchu, I think going for alchemy is the right turn. And yeah, with just H1 buildings and Machu Picchu, you can go pretty far. So I just upgrade my alchemy and go for the last leader, the last leader available, Isabel. I think no. It doesn't make a lot of sense, or maybe maybe it does. I don't know, but I didn't see any territory, but I have nothing better to do anyway. So what I'm going to do with my two, I'm going to take a leader. It's going to be +1 rock. It's going to be a lot of rock, but maybe easier. Maybe it's easy to go into corruption too. So yeah, I have nothing better to do than go for leader, and the leader is better than no leader. So easy.
Would you consider just take Nobel, elect, upgrade one mine,
Mm,
and think about the rest of the build?
I don't think maybe I thought about it, but I didn't consider it for a long time because with this setup, you going for big for culture, and I think Nobel didn't help me this much. I'm already the strongest. You have no easy way to get stronger than me, and same goes for Weidenbaum because you have no food. So Nobel, I think it's good if he like makes the difference for the strength, and if you really need the science. But here, I don't really need the science. If I go for alchemy, I'm hoping I can go for drama and maybe drama at one point, but so it's low science too. I with medieval army I can defend for a long time. So yeah, I don't think Nobel here is. I looked at him. I think I discarded him because I don't know. He didn't help me that much, and I think right now, yeah. But I understand that early Nobel is a very strong card. Early H2, sometimes he makes the difference. Like he can not win the game, but put the player going for him in a very good position. But this time I didn't feel it was this kind of game. It was for civil action to do it pretty expensive.
And I think you also played the Dark Ages, so if you just go for him, elect him, and upgrade, then you also are a little bit vulnerable to this.
Yeah, you're right. You justify my turn. Maybe I thought about it. Maybe I didn't thought about it. I didn't think about it. But yeah, you're right. Like the advantage right now, it's not so big. I just want to keep low science. Yeah. I think Isabel is good here, and let's see maybe someone. No, I don't think anyone seeded cartography anything with cartography, but yeah.
Then you also switch tactic, right?
Yeah. I had the extra military with medieval.
So I'm the weakest here, so I don't see it. I'll definitely take that Republic, like I said last turn, and I'll upgrade the last iron, and then take this patriotism. I think that's my whole turn because of the call to arms. Patriotism, just a very nice card to have with Republic and with Silk Road, just perfect card. So even though I can't do much on my turn, I just get the cards I need and get that last upgrade. Don't have corruption, so it's overall still a clean turn. There isn't really anything here that I really want at this point anyway, so it's not even the worst time to get hit by call to arms.
Yeah, I think it's a good, clean, easy turn.
Yeah.
At my turn now, I'm one of the two strongest, so I kind of wanted to push now. I still had as only event the developed territory 1 in hand, which I still was not too happy about seeding it into the deck, but as you might see, the Suez Canal is just about to be discarded. It was revealed quite early, so at least Marta won't have the chance to go for the Suez Canal, and with that, and with it being in the next event deck, I thought that maybe it won't be too impactful, and I can just push it, hoping that maybe the foray is revealed. Actually, the Uncertain Borders was revealed, which made me a little bit think that maybe an additional swordsman instead of the printing press could have been also interesting with the call to arms and Uncertain Borders revealed, but at least I will have a bit of additional science and culture production with that. And then for my turn, I have a lot of civil actions. I could just take a bunch of yellow cards, but I wouldn't feel too happy about it. I think in this early stage of the game, it's better to invest your actions into something that will increase your production or better your position in some way. And I think there's an interesting way to do it. I can take the scientific method. I don't have enough science for it, but if I go for the revolutionary idea, I not have only enough science to go for the scientific method, but also for the masonry, which then allows me to go for one upgrade for 4 resources, putting me at 8 science production, and that I felt put me in a very potentially strong situation. Of course, I am now improving something that I had already somewhat fixed, my science production, but I think having a lot of science production has always the potential to really snowball and escalate very quickly. And now I have 8 science production. I'm still prepared to go for maybe a coal at the next turn. and so I thought it was quite strong. Also, I do invest some of my science, and with Marta Pecheur having now looked at exactly 4 science for 2 turns in a row, I was thinking that maybe there could be Dark Ages coming, which on one hand is of course now bad with going for such big production, but at least for this turn with investing science, I'm still better prepared for it. And if it now hits later on, then maybe the science loss won't be as painful because of my very big production. So I miss out on some yellow cards that could be interesting, like the Ridgeland, Wave of Nationalism, but I think this big science push has just a lot of potential, and at the end I was willing to miss out on those cards in order to go for this nice scientific method play.
I think it looks good when it's like this. Like you, no, I think it was a very very beautiful turn. Not maybe the hardest to find, but like when you go like this, you develop with Leonardo. You can you get a fast scientific method. I think you have to do this all the time, even if you get it by Dark Ages. It's pretty much whatever. It's I think it's very very strong. Then you're going to get extra rocks all the time. I really like this one. I think it was very strong.
And just having so much science with Leo means you're also kind of upgrading your rock production, basically.
Yeah.
So for my turn, I see the population of science because I think I had no choice. It was it was the only event I had in my hand. So yeah, I think it's going to give some culture to Weidenbaum maybe, but I'm at 4, he's at 8. It's nothing special anyway. I just want to push the deck since I'm the strongest, so I get the foray. I get I don't know why I took like 2 rocks and one food, but I guess it made sense some way. So I'll just upgrade this time. I just go for the upgrade. And again, I'm a bit scared of the rats, so I push another population instead of going for another irrigation. And and I think this mine is going to stay agriculture for the rest of the game without it being a spoiler, but it's going to stay there for a long, long time. But I think it's the right decision to just offset the chances you get by rats. It's it would not have been too bad, I think.
And anyway, you're also on 5 civil actions, so you don't want to hoard too much because it will force your turns too much.
Yeah, and like I am at I think I am at like 4 extra yellow token at this time. So yeah, if I lose food, it's like 7 food or 6 food. It's I don't know. I would have had a lot, like 10 food. And if I lose all of that, it's really extra population. You're losing so really a lot because you have extra yellow token. And yeah, I'm very happy. But I think at this time I was very happy about my board. The only thing I'm needing right now is culture production, but there are a lot of options, and I have like everything decent. At least like rocks are very good, but for the rest, it's decent. It's maybe 4 science, not a lot, but I don't need a lot of science to have something going. So yeah, I was quite happy about my board at this time. Maybe a little lack of CA, but there's nothing I can do about it anyway. So yeah, it was fine. And I had like the positional army, defensive army. I mean, like the 6th strength army that Weidenbaum I think really wants with Silk Road and Swordsman. So yeah, I was happy to draw this one because it's like one less problem to think about. Defensive army, yes, this is the one. So when you have this against Greathold and Swordsman, you're always happy because there are no surprise wars that can hit you for maybe quite a lot sometimes. So yeah, I was happy to have this one in my hand, even though I can probably use it myself. It's a nice insurance to have it.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe the opera, but you already have the drama in hand, so it doesn't make much sense. But it would be nice to build a 3rd lab perhaps next turn, and opera could be nice to transition that with bargain to something else. But yeah,
you're right. I think 3rd opera maybe could be on the table, but I mean the further alchemy could be on the table. I don't often do this, maybe out of habit, but yeah, with back maybe you can do it. And yeah, I think it's the only thing I think it could be good. I think it could be good. I don't think I'm going to go for that because of the board decided this way. But yeah, I don't often do it, but I think in this spot maybe can be good. Yes, I have plenty of population, so I might as well use it.
Okay, then on my turn, I'm still not going to seed. I just got hit by call to arms on certain borders and not getting the foray. And yeah, on this turn, I'm just going for the clean revolution. Yeah, I also have an unhappy worker, so I could get hit by rebellion. So there's absolutely no way I'm going to risk that. Because the revolution is quite nice also this turn. I do have corruption, but yeah, there wasn't that much else that I could do. I could go for scientific method perhaps, but I think it's just nice to have the government going now and have a lot of civil actions afterwards.
Yeah, especially because there are some strong wonders that you're now nicely prepared for, like Ocean
Yes.
Liner Service or Harvard College. So with
Yes.
that, it's probably best to just do the revolution and
Yes.
not be distracted by the scientific method.
Yeah, especially also with the EG in hand.
All right, then at my turn, I this time thought about after I had realized it 2 turns before, immediately after my turn. Now I didn't forget about it and just canceled the pact as I didn't want to see it this turn. I would have liked to see it because I was still somewhat thinking that the Dark Ages is coming, and this turn I won't develop anything, meaning that after my turn the Dark Ages will hit me a lot harder, but I didn't have any event in hand, only 2 aggressions in the war, also the Conquistadors tactic as well as my 2H1 colonization cards. So I now just use the politics action to cancel the pact. And then I think there are 2 cards that I really want to take, the cannons and the cavalryman. The cannons are just very nice to have with the Great Wall. The cavalryman also might be needed for a tactic. I have only the conquistadors, which is not ideal with the Great Wall, but might be better than nothing. And also for other tactics, it could be nice to have the cavalryman. I took 3 food from the fray, allowing me to increase my population so that I have a free population again. And then it was a bit awkward because on 2 civil actions there are all of the happy face solutions, but if I take one of them, it is a bit costly because I also kind of would like to take some of those strong yellow cards that are available for 1 civil action. The wave could be very nice, efficient upgrade for the coal upgrades, and also I can use 1 civil action to upgrade 1 lab to scientific method, and I would miss out on a lot of stuff if I take one of those. And with me being at least for now fine with my happy faces, I made a call to just skip all of them, probably missing out on, or definitely missing out on all of them. But in H3 there are at least some ways to get additional happy faces. Maybe it could even be an option to go for Shakespeare at the next turn, even though I have a lot to do with going for coal upgrades and fixing my populations. I don't know if I have to freeze civil action, especially because I kind of also need the opera if I want to go for him, but it could be an option in H3. There's Steve Jobs and potentially Marlene Dietrich and Chaplin, and with that I took the risk of potentially having some happy face issues later, because I just think it's too much value to looking out in the wave, and the efficient upgrade and also going for the last upgrade to scientific method is quite nice, and being now at 18 science, which is really quite a lot.
Yeah, frankly, in this position with 3 happy faces already covered, I really wouldn't care about missing out on these. I would be
No,
just casual about it. Like, these cards are way more valuable than maybe needing this at some point, I think.
no, especially with
Yeah,
those H3 leaders also. But even without them, I think it
Yeah,
might just be too strong to get those yellow cards.
yes,
yeah, and we are like in a three player games. Oftentimes you find what you need one way or another. Like
yeah.
in H3, maybe you're going to get like
There are 3 leaders that give
pro
happy
sports,
face.
and there are like leaders. There's Ocean Liner. There is a Statue of Liberty. Even Effelter, I think you had like plenty of other options. So I think it was very fine to skip them.
Yeah,
No,
like even if one of these was at 1 CA, I don't know if you even have to take it. It's so easy to get discovered later on. I don't think it's a problem.
no,
Yeah, and you have like you like you have some rocks, but not so many rocks. So wave is good. It can like
That's,
if you can opt like the opt to draw the defensive army yourself, and Zoe got it already, and make a like a little military push. So yeah, no, it's I think it's good this way. So here I also draw the what's it called army. What's it called? It's a mobile archery. So it's quite good for me. I just need cannon. There is only one copy left now, but I'm like since it's Widen that got it, I have the higher chance to get the other cannon. But so it's a good tactics for me. So I feel even more safe and even better about the game that I had. And now I see the autonomous territory. So I have no defense cards, so I'm not sure I'm going to get this one, but I want to see since I'm the strongest. Yeah, and I have I was like the one that seeded the Dark Ages, so I really wanted to appear, and because yeah, I think it's maybe even more annoying for pv4 than for Weidenbaum because Weidenbaum is going to get it back soon. But for pv4, it's 4 is a big hit when you're only on three. Three science production. So yeah, I was quite happy to see the Dark Ages, but I would have seeded pretty much anything I think to try to reveal the Dark Ages. So yeah, it was a good start of the turn. Then I just yeah, I'm still afraid of rats. Very afraid of rats. I'm pretty sure it's the last card of the deck is rats. So I'm just go for population, and then I see Shakespeare. So I have neither printing presses or drama. So it's not the. It doesn't seem like it's the most obvious choice. But since I have a lot of population, since I can defend myself probably with a medieval army or and then maybe a mobilitary, I think I can. I think I can do it. I think I can survive a military push, and I think I can invest in a Shakespeare engine. I thought about like leaving Shakespeare here and hoping it falls next turn, but it was very risky maybe, and maybe Wyden could have taken him anyway. So yeah, I just took Shakespeare instead of improving. Maybe it was not even a choice because there are a lot of yeah. No, you would have disappeared. So yeah, just journalism and Shakespeare and ready to build some culture. And yeah, with 20, I end the turn. I have 22 rocks, so I think next turn I'm just going to need some civil action. I hope maybe I don't have to pay for something expensive, and I can just go for Shakespeare and double journalism right away. We'll see, but yeah, it's a good setup I think for later.
Yeah, I was quite a bit afraid of the potential of your position because you have so many free population and might easily be able to build a lot of pairs, and that will just be a lot of value generated and could force me or pv4 maybe into a military answer. And yeah, so I was a little bit afraid of how nicely you maybe will be able to set up this Shakespeare.
Yes, me too, because my plan is basically to get ahead on culture, so I don't have to go military, but this looks very scary to me as well now, because he will catch up quickly.
Yeah, and sometimes like when you have your edge one buildings, you can get a little bit like your engine can be a little bit slower. But here, if I get because yeah, it's a lot of population for an okay income, but nothing special. But here with 2 extra journalism and all the yellow I have, it starts to get really very scary. And yeah, Shakespeare, when you have the population, it's I think he's one of the strongest leaders. You just need population and a way to defend. Which is true for many positions, but especially true with Shakespeare. If you have a lot of yeah, a lot of workers,
Yeah.
you can go very far, I think, with him. And so it's quite good. And maybe at one time I need to destroy the alchemy. Maybe at one time I need to destroy the religion, but it's okay. It's like a two-player games. You destroy what you have to destroy to make the pairs.
Okay. Then on my turn, I seed prosperity, and sadly the last event here was barbarians, so I now got hit by 4 strength events and the dark ages in this round. So
Mm.
the event deck was pretty harsh. But the reason I really want the prosperity in is because I have to go for organized religion here anyway after losing the uncertain borders, I think, and yeah, not sure why, but I end up here with something unhappy. So I have to go for this organized religion regardless, and then the prosperity will be quite nice for me. While Weidenbaum has the Forbidden City, Martin doesn't have happy faces yet, and probably will go for journalisms first. So it could come out relatively soon. Maybe he'll get something out of it as well, which will be a bit bad with Shakespeare, of course. But for me, it will give just more. And then since I go for this anyway, I actually upgrade the second one as well. I need to get out of corruption actually, and that's not so easy. I don't know if oh, no, I still don't even get out of corruption, so it's not a reason. But I just yeah wanted to have more food income from the prosperity. Getting 6 extra food will actually be a big deal for me, allowing me to delay my selective breeding perhaps. And then of course I'll go for Harvard College here. Yeah, as Weinbaum said last time, I'm really well set up for one of the good wonders, either Harvard College or Ocean Liner, and Harvard College was now available on the 2 civil action section. So I definitely go for this to improve my science income. That will be very nice for me. I also took this reserves and not this EG. I'm sure there were great reasons for that, but I have no idea. Yes, I think I do. I think it was I was scared of the military potential. I think at this point, not sure whose. I was thinking of something with the military. Like if Weinbaum has a defensive army, he could just go for one now and actually have quite a bit of strength. Martin has some free population. If he has a tactic and the fitting military tech, he could have something as well. And I'm just scared to get overrun pretty quickly, and that's why I want to have these reserves in hand. I think it had to do with that. But it's a bit strange to see him not take the EG actually. Of course, this EG can be 4 rocks, but yeah, still not really sure.
Like I think I was really surprised about your turn. Like the double organized religion really surprised me.
Yeah,
Because yeah, you didn't even have like maybe an immigration or something. So I thought maybe it's prosperity done the deck. But like, what about just going for Harvard and finish Harvard right away? I think, and then maybe disbanding something. But like you have you double your science production, and Harvard and Silk Road is like very very strong. So you're going to Harvard anyway, but like here you can just go Harvard, G1, finish it, and take stuff and
yeah.
disband
But
something.
I have an uprising, so the rest of my turn I have to take the organized religion, and then the last action will be destroy farm or
Hmm.
something,
Yeah, I think it's destroy the farm.
or a
Yes.
lab or maybe. But I don't think that's better than this turn taking corrupt. Like I lose one time the income of Harvard, and I have 2 rock loss. But destroying something, I think, is still a bit more painful in the long
Hmm.
run. Not sure.
Yeah, but like your third farm is helping, but not so much too. I don't know. Maybe it can help if there's a like a military push, and you can make a third army. I don't know, but yeah, I really like to Harvard. Like it's a big improvement. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I agree that this turn looks pretty ugly, but I didn't find a clean solution for sure.
yeah.
Yes, the
Sometimes
barbarians.
you
Yeah,
look at it from like the opponent's standpoint. You say, "What is he doing?" But you know that when
yeah,
you're playing the turn, there is nothing that makes more sense than that. And yeah, you can only understand it when you have to try
yeah,
to move around your pieces and you see nothing works.
yeah, yeah. It's the barbarians that actually hurt me really badly here because that's
Hmm.
why I have the uprising problem. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
and everything gets more expensive. Then you have to spend on one action, destroy some things. It never feels good.
mm,
Maybe you hope to go for selective breeding and then start triple selective breeding can be quite good. So yeah, I
yeah,
understand why it went this way, but yeah, it was very surprising from
yeah.
another
Yeah, there is also Red
standpoint.
Cross in the game, so having the potential 3 farm upgrades
Mm.
is still nice.
Yep.
And also, I might still go for Ocean Liner after Harvard, and then just having these 3 unupgraded farms is also quite nice because then this will be enough. So I kind of really want to keep the 3rd farm around. And what was I thinking? Yeah, one reason I was debating whether to seed or not. The barbarians hurt me so much. But this was one case of I've already seen so many bad events. There can't be another one, and then of course,
Yeah.
I love the simulation.
Yeah, think again. When it's bad, it stays bad.
No, there's only so many bad events.
Yeah. Like when you get hit by, like it lowers the odds, but yeah.
I was also
Maybe.
thinking, I was also thinking there really must be a colony in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, there wasn't. Thought you would have a colony in there.
Yeah, of course, but yeah, maybe there's like still a reign of terror and some other things, but pestilence too, maybe. But yeah. I understand. You want to push something. It's something that's going to be good for you at one point. So yeah, sometimes when it's close, maybe seeding is a good idea. Like you have extra info and yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so for my turn, I made a decision to seed, and it was a bit of an interesting decision because I will actually put the politics of strength in the deck now, which I now don't really know for certain how nice it will be for me. One reason was that I at the last turn drew 2 H2 colonization cards and had now in total 4 colonization cards in hand, and I knew that the developed territory is one of those 2 H1 colonies, and it could be nice to see it revealed now because it's my turn, I win the tiebreaker, and I can't keep all of those cards in hand. And while the developed territories on one hand maybe not really that much needed, with me having that much science production, I still thought it could end up being nice because with the additional yellow token, and I won't have any happy face issue for certain for a while, even when I lose the 2 yellow tokens at the end of the age. And while I have a lot of science, I think having even more is always never bad, especially with being in an H1 government form. It could make it easy to go for democracy or something like that. And politics of strength is a bit risky, but I have the Great Wall at least, and I thought that it could potentially turn out to be a game where maybe a military answer is needed against Motta's Shakespeare, and then if that should happen like this, it could at least be nice to already have the politics of strength in there. If I don't seed it now, I probably would need to discard it in order to keep my colonization cards in hand. So at the end, I just seeded it, hoping that it won't hurt me badly in H3. In H3, then the developed territory wasn't revealed yet. Instead, a border conflict, which at least I didn't get hit by. And then for this turn, I think it's an easy choice to go for what. I don't have selective breeding set, I don't have coal yet, so I think James Watt can generate me a lot of value, but actually, as you can see, I didn't use his discount when developing the selective breeding, because I thought in this position, with having such strong science production and being on bronze mines for now quite a while, I thought that maybe the one resource that I'm getting from Leonardo might actually be more valuable than the 2 science that James Watt could save me. It's still a close decision. 2 science can still be very nice, and I will save some resources with going for James Watt, but I also don't know how quickly I will be able to get the coals, and with that, I actually made a decision to get 1 resource still with Leonardo instead of the 2 science from James Watt. Then I also wanted to take the Rifleman in hand because it could be nice to be prepared for an H3 tactic in case this game should indeed turn out to be a military heavy one, and with having the Great Wall, that I could potentially be nicely prepared for such a game. So I wanted to have the Rifleman in hand to offer me some additional options. And then the question was, do I maybe want to develop the Rifleman or another military tech with Leonardo before electing James Watt to generate additional resource? But I have only the Conquistadors, and that's not the ideal tactic, so I am hoping to maybe draw a better one, and for that I don't know which technology I will need. Thought about just developing the Rifleman, as I can upgrade those, and those would potentially be nice anyway, but I could still draw mobile artillery or fortifications. I didn't set the necessity to commit to anything of this yet, missed out on the resource from Leonardo, and then just went for two cheap selective breeding upgrades, allowing it that I can increase my population at the next turn. And then I was hoping that maybe coal will be available for me. so that I can then go for some quick resource upgrades and prepare to go for 2 coal upgrades with James Watt. And so that was what I'm looking for the next turn. There's also the ocean liner service in the row, which of course could be interesting, but with having James Watt, I just felt that maybe the selective breeding is just the cheaper solution, with me having now being in low resource production for a while, and I think it's maybe just a bit too expensive here.
Yeah, when you have that much science, the breeding actually becomes even better than ocean liner, perhaps.
No, that's true.
and
Also with the
especially
additional
both.
science.
Yeah.
And at the end of my turn, I did draw something interesting. I actually made a risk to discard the conquistadors because I thought I don't want to use this tactic anyway, and I do draw 2 tactics that I can use: the classic army and the fortifications. And yeah, so that I thought I was happy about it because maybe that could allow me to set up some nice military.
Fortification, always a nice site, whether you
Yeah.
can go for it or not. And when you have great roll, it's even better.
Yeah, so the developed territory is revealed, and I was willing to use all of my colonization cards that I still had in hand in order to win it. It could be costly, but now that I've drawn the fortifications, I thought it could be nice to make a transition and just making sure that I don't go into the next area of the yellow bank quickly, and that I don't have any unhappy face issues in the near future. I thought that it is worth it to spend those colonization cards, even though I was afraid that maybe after that there could soon be a strong H2 colony revealed with Umata having cartography and Isabella now for a while.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw the like it was a pretty good. I was happy to see the developed territory for 2 reasons, because like now with Canon and 2 CA, I'm going to go for it all the time. So I just bet. I have no defense card, so I just bet like my 2 warriors, and if I win, that's good, because the extra science will be helpful for me. And I can go for cannon maybe right away, maybe in 1 turn. And if someone bets more than that, it's I think I went maybe like 2 rocks with Isabella or something, but not more. I wanted it, but not so much. So yeah, I was happy to see that you spent like all your defense cards, because now with my autonomous territory coming soon, or maybe coming a little after, I don't remember exactly. Yeah, it was in the same batch. So yeah, my autonomous territory is coming, and I feel a little more confident that I can win it now for cheaper. So yeah, I was happy to see that you won it. So my turn then is easy. I have like the defensive, the mobile artillery, so I go for cannon, and then I just go for double the journalism, because it's the only way to stay out of corruption, and it's very strong. I don't need the culture right away with Shakespeare. I don't need to do a pair. I'm still the strongest for cheap, and next turn I can go for drama, I can go for cannon, I can do anything that I want, so it's a very good position. I think I didn't even consider ocean liner, all this. I don't really care about that. I have enough population. The game is looking like very, very good for me at this time. I think like everything is going the best that I could have hoped. So yeah, it's an easy turn.
Very easy and very nice with the double journal. Anytime you can build 2 journalisms. And take the cannon for your tactic.
And then still have 18 science. I'm sorry, 18 rocks after. Yeah, you feel quite good. So, and I said it. I don't know if I said it. The international negotiation, because I thought like with the defensive army, I had chance to win it, but even then, I just it was either that or national pride. But I was I was confident that I could maybe win it, or at least not lose it, because with all the population, I could have been fine. I think I can disband more things, like even the agriculture, even the. I can manage not to be the weakest, and even if I lose, I have so many resources anyways that it's okay, and it's in a long time. So yeah, it's. I thought maybe national pride could wait a little bit, because I was still a little bit. Maybe pv4 was a little bit too much ahead right now. Maybe it could wait like 1 or 2 turns, see how it goes. But it's not very an important decision, I think.
Okay. On my turn, I'm going to see the iconoclasm. Popularization of science is revealed, which loses me 5 points basically. I see the iconoclasm because I want to get rid of Shakespeare. It's 2 more cards in this deck. By then it will definitely be the next age. So I just want to kill Shakespeare as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And also there is no coal here yet. So it might be the case that Weidenbaum will be just a bit late with going for the calls, and we might even get Watts before he gets the full value. Not maybe the biggest chance, but and yeah, definitely Watt is not really the leader you want to go after. But yeah, it's mainly just to kill Shakespeare, and it could even in this case be okay against Watt. Also, my own leader, I won't go for Bach and opera here because I have better things to do. So my own leader will be Catherine, I think, or maybe there's also Napoleon Maria. But yeah, I won't pick a leader this turn, so maybe there's a chance that I can wait with my leader and let the iconoclasm pass first, or take a relatively weak leader that doesn't do that much for me, like maybe Catherine, and then I don't mind the iconoclasm. But thinking like having Maria after an iconoclasm could still be nice. So there are some ways I can play around this, and I just want to get rid of the Shakespeare mainly. And then my turn itself, I think, is really nice. I actually spent all of my science first on the architecture, then can build the Harvard without using the EG1, just using the full architecture, then take the ocean liner and still get the EG using the Silk Road bonus. And then I'll take another reserves in hand to have enough rocks, because again, there are some ways that other people could get dangerous. I'm about to lose Sichka as well. So I want some rocks in hand to be able to defend. I need 6 more to finish the ocean liner first. Um, and then, yeah, therefore having the reserves in hand is important. I'm passing on the rifleman because I have the hussars tactic in hand and nothing else, so don't have any special use for this. I think there is still a cavalryman around, which I could use with the hussars tactic. But yeah, getting architecture Harvard and still using the EG and then getting the 3 steps again next turn is pretty nice, I think.
Yeah, it looks good. It was I think a very good turn for you. Like clean. You save 1 CA this way. You have enough, just enough for next. Yeah, you have enough to finish the ocean liner next turn. And I didn't pay attention to you skipping rifleman, but yeah, I think it's pretty much says you have hussars, I guess. But yeah, I didn't pay attention at this time, and when you revealed it the turn after, I was a bit surprised, but not surprised, but I was thinking, yeah, yeah, okay, it's good that it has in, but no, I think I could have known that you had it because else, I think if you don't have a SARS, you're taking rifleman over reserve, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a very clean turn. And now I was hoping that maybe the coal could be revealed, and it will actually be revealed, but then I had to think about if actually it is the best to go for the coal immediately. I could potentially go for 2 upgrades, but at the end I end up doing something different. Because yeah, was hoping that the coal will be available for me for 1 civil action at the next turn. It will be costing me some economical benefits to not go for the upgrades right now, but I think the alternative turn that I'm doing has also quite some potential. I will go for the strategy, allowing me to be a little bit threatening with the military, and now I can also use the wave very nicely to yeah, make a transition into fortifications. I will just build 2 cannons using the full resources of the wave. And I will also reveal the tactic because none of you can make an easy transition into it. Martin maybe could potentially use it, especially if there's a colony revealed, but I was still willing to reveal it because 22 strength might be looking quite threatening, might prevent you from maybe doing the turn that you would really like to do. Sadly, I didn't have really anything in hand to punish you. I had no aggression or war, but I will get 2 draws, and the threat alone might already make your turns maybe a little bit less less efficient, and the politics of strength is coming soon. And I was just thinking that the pressure and military potential that I'm opening up with that move is at the end maybe worth it to delay the coal. Sadly, I'm missing one resource to go for 2 coal upgrades at the next turn. That was a little bit painful. I didn't have the last civil action to take the efficient upgrade, so I thought about, do I maybe just want to go for coal? But I also thought it's maybe nice to spend all of those military actions now, when it is still H2. If I don't take the strategy, it might be taken by one of you, then I'm less threatening, and I might miss out on a lot of draws when I want to transition into fortifications later. And so I just went for the more threatening play, and at the cost of delaying the economy by a little bit. But I mean, now that it's that late, it could even be that I get lucky and there's maybe an early oil on the road at the next turn, so I could even get rewarded for not going for the coal for 3, and I will at least save some civil actions with getting it for cheaper at the next turn.
I think it makes sense to go for this. Maybe it's not the most obvious turn, but if you don't have the cards to back it up, but yeah, I think you need to make something happen in your position, because even when your what is going to do his work, you're going to be like pretty much like in the same position as I will be, but with no culture production. So I think pushing for some military and trying to be annoying, hoping maybe to draw something that will make it more difficult for me, because I have no CA, not much military action. I think it was the right play to try to mix things up a little bit instead of waiting for Shakespeare to roll over, run away with culture, and
it
I think
definitely
the way
is
to
also
play.
annoying for me. I will also have to respond because I'm losing Zitska. So
Yeah. For you, I think it's even worse for you, because if you don't have the hussars, like you have, I don't even see what you can do. You can do use all your yellows and try to make up a little little barricade around your civilization, but it's not going to be enough against great wall cannons if Weiden starts to really attack you. So it's a very dangerous for you, even more.
Yeah, and I was actually happy that I did actually draw something that could potentially transform my military strength into something nice, because I drew a war over technology. So I was now interested to see how nicely we'll prepare for something like this.
So myself, I think I'm going to see the civil unrest, and here I have the autonomous territory, which is exactly what I wanted to reveal. So I pay, I pay some rocks. I pay my only defense card, and I use my wires, and then I can just go for the mobile artillery. It's one tactics I really like. I think it's almost as good as the fortification. It's really easy to make. It's very cheap.
I
And
think 3 and 4 player is maybe even better.
I think like we always talk about fortification because it's like the king in 2 players. It's extremely stupid when you do it with back. It's just like you feel you can do anything, but like no one can do anything about it. But here in 3 player, maybe it's better because there are maybe little aggressions. More knights, of course. So it's very good. And then you have like for only 8 resources, you have 10 strands. It's very easy to build. I really like this one. And for the rest of my action, it's just of course Shakespeare drama and 2 theaters for 2 each. So it's just perfect. And I don't fear rats anymore because they are only H2 leaders, so it's perfect for me. 13 culture at the end of H2 with no weak spot. It's a very good position.
Up until now, like from my perspective, you still had some problems, like no clear military transition, only 5 actions, 3 military actions, and then this turn happened and like everything was. You got the
The autonomous is perfect.
You have precisely these 2 armies and then 2 pairs already built and 13 culture production, and like, whoa, suddenly it's looking very hard to stop.
Like I thought, like after this turn, I thought like with the 6 civil action and the military, like I had to do the perfect tactics. I thought the only thing that can maybe stop me or slow me down is iconoclasm. So we'll see how it will go. But even then, I have so much extra yellows, and it's just the perfect storm during all the game for me. I had so it was like a perfect position. I was very very happy to have this at the end of H2. Even though I have just one wonder, but who cares if you have Shakespeare and double pairs? It's nothing.
Yeah, I also was quite afraid of your position now.
Then on my turn, I'm not sure. I think I see it. Yeah, I see
You
the
said
strategic territory here. Yeah, I know prosperity is the last event here, and I get 6 food out of it, while Weidenbaum only gets 1. But wasn't going to get more happy face. I don't think you are either. But yeah, I think I just wanted a strategic in there because I now have 2 colonization cards, so I have some chance of getting it. I'll have population for it. And also I don't have the best tactic options at the moment, so I felt like let's just improve my options. And it would also be, I think one of the main reasons is I have the iconoclasm. Age will end now, and it would be really nice to have it early because Weinbaum hasn't gone for the goal last turn, so there's still a lot of value. If he seats now and hits the iconoclasm, it's actually very painful, and of course Shakespeare would die. So I just want the iconoclasm as soon as possible now. And at least a strategic, I have some chance of winning the crime wave. I'm definitely losing, so it has to be that one. So I'll finish.
I'm sorry. I think this I think I would have gone like Crimea wave all the time, even if it's like because I was in your position, even with Hussars. I think it's pretty risky to put that in there. Like if Wyden wins it and wars you right away, or okay, yeah, maybe he has not enough rocks to do it. I don't know, but yeah,
No,
I
I
think it's
can't
maybe a
really
bit
go for anything
risky.
right now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I was immediately worried about an early war. So, and just getting hit by this is already a bit painful. I don't really want that.
Hmm.
I think I have some chance of winning it. I think it's good
But then
enough.
do you have the science to make use of the extra, like if you get a good tactics,
Yeah,
how are you going to use it? And then you have only two yellows. Now you're going to get Catherine maybe, so it's 3. But I don't know. It seemed a bit risky, and maybe I'm biased because Crime Wave for me is like a neutral event. I consider it doesn't do anything. So
yeah, I get what you mean. That
maybe with the 2 defense card, I don't know. You can try to win the territory. Maybe I'm empty because I used all my defense card
yeah, and
before.
Weinbaum already used his as well. So
Yeah,
I
and with
think
the other LS and the
there's not that
population,
many
yeah,
of them.
maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe you're right. Maybe you can win it and easily build back your army with the 4 strength on top,
yeah.
and you have some impacts.
I'm also on low MA, so that if I win the draws, they may be more valuable for me even than for the others
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
some
okay, yeah.
points.
Right, yeah, maybe, yeah, it can make sense. I wouldn't have done it, I think, without thinking of it for a lot of time, but maybe it makes sense.
So then this turn I'll use the patriotism to have 2 extra military actions again with the Silk Road. I also elect Catherine here. I'll get to that. I get a bunch of population now with the prosperity and the boat. And I actually lost the 3rd farm to the border conflict at some point, I think. Was that this turn? No, it was earlier already. I now rebuild a 3rd farm because I will need it anyway, and think it gets me out of corruption maybe, or maybe just an action. I don't know. And yeah, I'll go for 2 more knights and the hussars tactic, which brings me to 15 strength. Even get 3 draws this turn. Maybe that also factored into. And yeah, I'm also exactly out of corruption, so that's part of why I had to build this 3rd farm. I could have increased population, of course, but I will need a third farm anyway after this turn. So I think it's better to build it now and then increase population again next turn, and I'll have 2 more populations. So again, I'll be able to build 2 more units. I think I'll have 10 rocks with his reserves, so I could build 2 cavalrymen, assuming they're still there. But yeah, I don't think Martin is very likely to take it, and Weidenbaum already has cavalrymen. So probably, and also if Weidenbaum is one declaring the war, then he doesn't know if the cavalryman is available for me. So I'm at least threatening 2 cavalrymen, which is another 10 strength, I think, which he can't really get anything over. So he could be at 25 with building the swordsman, and I'll be at 25 with the 2 cavalrymen. Because I was suddenly far behind on the strength, so I needed to make very sure that I could defend the war. But I can just, and I will even get 3 draws, so, and I have the 2 defense cards, so I'm safe against aggressions as well.
Yeah, I was surprised by the farm, and then I thought like if you did it, it must have made sense somewhat, and yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, I was surprised that you would go for the farm here, but yeah, it probably like it's the kind of thing you don't understand when you don't play it,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah,
makes sense.
I just can't afford the selective breeding here. I can't afford the rocks and the
Mm-hmm.
signs for it, and just building the third farm will get me out of food problems for a long time, and
Yeah,
the rest is cleaner
mm-hmm.
for me here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now with both of you having sadly prepared nicely for potential military threats, I couldn't really go for the Volver technology this turn, and especially because I also want to go for coal, and instead I had also this international trade agreement pact nicely available, and it was a bit of a decision for me to which one I should offer it. I definitely wanted to get the additional resources with being on bronze mines for quite a while now. And I think the food would be a lot better for Mata Pêcheur than for PV4. And I feared that the food would maybe that bad for PV4 that maybe he could think about not accepting it because it will take a while until the additional food production will make a difference. Maybe the food that will be lying around could even potentially cause some corruption issues. So I thought about just to get the resources for certain to maybe offer it to Marta because he has also quite a strong position, but while he has a strong position, I was at this point not completely willing to give up on fighting for first place. So I was not taking that too much into account. And at the end, I offered it to PV4, hoping that he will just accept the pact, as he says that he just accepts this pact without thinking. And so I'm interested to see
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
did you think about it, or was it just an auto accept?
I always accept. No, I mean, I think it's actually still very good for me here because next turn I will increase population normally and with the boat, and then the turn after that I'm already here, and I'll need the extra food anyway. So then I will need to build a fourth farm, and now I don't have to do that. So I think it's still perfectly fine for me, this pact. But
No, I
like I
mean it
said,
will
It's always
take
good.
it will take a little while until you will need the food because you would have still have, I think, some food saved up,
yeah,
but at some point it will still be nice for you to have. So I was hoping that you will accept it, but I was fearing a little bit that maybe there's could be
no,
the danger of
You,
you
you, you
rejecting
never
it.
know. With
no,
with a Red Cross, and maybe it's you have like two food, or with a reserve you can't build
No,
your
yeah.
population.
There's
no,
always a
especially
way
So
with
to
the Red
use it.
Cross.
I don't reject free things.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was happy that the pact got accepted, and in this turn, I can finally start going for an coal upgrade. And yeah, sadly, only one. And after that, I have some 3 civil actions left. I definitely want to get the urban growth for 1 civil action. I also then took the breakthrough for 2 civil actions. I could have also gone for the second urban growth, but I don't know how nicely I will be able to use those. I mean, I take the journalism at the end, but that was just to maybe have the option to go for it. I didn't have a lot else to do with my last civil action, and I thought that are maybe some situations where it could be nice to maybe go for some upgrades from printing press to journalism. And if I go for this, maybe the second urban growth could be nice, but instead I rather wanted to have the breakthrough, because if I go for an H3 government form, then the 3 additional science are just still quite valuable. And so at the end of this turn now I'm at least at 6 resource production with the pact and the 1 coal upgrade, and at the next turn I was hoping to then finish the coal upgrades, but sadly I will be a bit behind in culture, which was worrying me. And yeah, so I was hoping that maybe some nice options will be available for me at the next turn. Maybe something like oil or computers could put me in a very strong economical position. Maybe drawing an strong H3 tactic now could open up some possibilities to go for a war. I was hoping for something like this, because without this I was a little bit afraid that it might not be that easy for me to close the culture gap. And yeah, but so I was just hoping that something nice will be available soon for me.
Yeah, I think it was quite unlucky that your military push didn't do this much, because we both had some sort of answers already in our hand. I think it could have been like way more annoying if I didn't have the mobility, or if pv4 didn't have like the SRs. You could have really made us think a lot more about our turns. But here, yeah, you have to like come back to your original plan. And yeah, it's, I think, a bit unlucky for you. So for my turn, I see the national pride, I think, this time, and then I get hit by the quite crushing iconoclasm. It's really the card I didn't want to see, but yeah, it's not like it's not the worst, but maybe it's the worst, but it's not like the end of the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it changed things up a little bit. Like my culture is looking nice, but way not as nice as before. So
Yeah,
what
so
I did,
I was pretty happy to have my iconoclasm come out, because Weidenbaum hasn't
yeah,
got his upgrades yet, and like I said, Shakespeare is dead. And one thing I forgot to mention on my last turn, I did go for Catherine, knowing that she could get hit by iconoclasm now, instead of just waiting and maybe getting Maria after the iconoclasm. But the thing was, I don't know if the iconoclasm will be early or not, and I just really needed that third or fourth MA just to have some defense. So I figured maybe I lose Catherine in the deal, but it's not that bad. And waiting with Maria in hand is just awkward, and
yeah.
also
I
tips
think
my opponents off, because then Weinbaum will not seed into this with still having to go for what. So that also was a reason.
yeah, but I think like Catherine made a lot of sense for you. Like at the moment you elected her, because you needed to push for military and draw some card. So I think it's better like to just elect and see what happens. And anyway, if iconoclasm hits, you're happy anyway. So
Yeah,
I feel like you have the use for her right now, and and you pretty much telegraphed for. Yeah, I think it's better this way.
yeah, but of course, if I know it's exactly the first card, I would not do that and go
Yeah,
for Maria.
for
But
sure.
with the variants, I just think it's better. The average case is better with Catherine.
Yeah. Like you saw, sometimes it's easy to organize about like the worst thing that can happen, and sometimes like for rats or something, you have to consider it for real. But oftentimes you just average it out and do what's good most of the times.
Yeah.
So get hit by the iconoclasm, but it's not the worst, because the card row is quite nice for me, because like there is movie, no one else has opera. Like I consider going for Chaplin right away, but I thought maybe it was maybe a little bit too fast for just two culture. So, but then I saw like movies. The first copy of movies is here. No one has opera, so no one is going to take Chaplin. So if I just do my turn like as if Shakespeare was here, and go for movies, no one is going to take Chaplin, except if the second copy shows up, but it's like a quite low odds. So I just go for movies. Hope nothing bad happens. I become the strongest by building another knight. It's very cheap to be the strongest, and yeah, mangrove. I think I have like maybe international negotiation coming, so the extra resource can be good. And yeah, just urban growth movie, easy transition to Chaplin if needed, and then it's for culture Chaplin. It starts to be again almost as good as Shakespeare. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah, I
happy to
think
see that movie and Chaplin as like, yeah, sure, the iconoclasm hit, but it's not even
yeah, it's
going to do anything really against you. With
yeah, it's not so bad. It's
yeah,
not so bad. It's like it was the perfect card draw to like it was the worst event to get as the first one, but it was a very good card draw for
yeah, for
like to
Eclipse.
offset it one way or another.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I just draw stuff. Yeah, nothing else to say.
Then I don't know if I'm seeding. No, so I'm not going to seed here. Not sure if I should because I have 3 defense cards and the strategic is in there. But I think it's also really awkward now to bid for it. So because I still have to catch up in strength a bit. And then actually Churchill appears on the row, which I was very happy about because he's like the easiest leader with no setup to go for after the iconoclasm. So I just take him for 3 and elect him. Then I get the 2 population out, and I still have to set up some defense. I'll take the military buildup and the cavalrymen in hand. I'm safe for now, but I need to be able to set up defense later. So I'll take the cavalryman. It's not great if I have to go for this upgrade, but at least with Churchill it's pretty easy, so not that bad. And having the military build up in hand because I don't have that many rocks and just the best yellow card anyway. So
Yeah, especially in 3 players, it's just crazy how many resources it can
yes,
give.
yes.
Yeah,
Only a
it's
little bit
10.
sad
Yeah,
about
11.
seeing this military theory here. I couldn't go for both Churchill and the military theory, but then I'm pretty unhappy to see this go to somebody else already. But at least I got the build up and I got Churchill, so those are good.
But like when you are at this spot, like what was your expectation for the rest of the game? Did you want to go? Because like you have Republic and
Yeah,
what were you trying to do? I know I wondered like what was the plan for you. Why like I understand going for Churchill. It's a leader. It gives a little bit of everything if you want. But I wonder like where were you going? Not that you had like a lot of other options, but yeah,
yeah.
what was in your mind?
I think I have populations, so that's fine. And with Churchill, I have the resources at least to defend. Like I can set up a defensive military, hopefully with the help of Churchill in this build-up. And then my hope is basically to get something like multimedia afterwards. To like for now, I'm still just barely ahead in culture, but I'm going to fall behind, of course, after this turn. But then, I want something like multimedia, maybe
Okay.
uh, like mechanized agriculture with Red Cross or something, or another good one, or fast food or whatever. Like just for short term, I just have to shore up my defenses and get some strength going. And then, like you see, I'm also activating Churchill's rock bonus for this turn. I'm building one extra knight because I'm still limited on my military actions, and like I said, I was unhappy about this military theory because this opens up I think for both of my opponents. Weidenbaum already has strategy, but he already has a threatening position anyway. Um, I think it opens up potential wars, and even I wouldn't be too happy about getting aggressed by both of them because then I definitely lose a strategic, which I can still win now. Also, building the extra knights gives me units to spend on the strategic. That's also important. But it also gives me the threat of, with my 3 military actions, completing 2 more armies, which because otherwise these are not super efficient yet. So I still need to catch up a bit. So that's why I'm going for this. Even though I would really like the 3 culture as well, but I think the 3 rocks are still more important.
But yeah, I think I also wonder about like what was your plan because I think I've seen you in other games many times in like a difficult position, or what seemed to be to me a difficult position, starting h3 and managing to to make something out of not very much. So that's why I also wonder, like, how is he, what is he going to pull out of his hat?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oftentimes I've seen you finishing games like that with weird setups, and it's working for you. So I don't know, like your other game where when you go for zero science production
Yeah.
and you manage to win it. So that was something.
Yeah. There it's actually this, like, at that point in the game, there's like the full game plan of the whole game, because there's just so few options that
Hmm.
there was nothing else if I commit to this, and then that's actually a decision that's like for the rest of the game. I think this case is just more of a short-term decision.
Okay.
I need to shore up my military weakness, and I don't have a road to victory, because I need some, like I said, something like multimedia, something like maybe Red Cross or whatever.
Hmm.
But that's not what I'm.
Yeah, okay. It's just like
There's no plan in the mind here, because there's no options really
that's
for
what
this.
you need to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Then for my turn, I don't have anything really nice to do with my politics phase, so I make the decision to just go for a blunder against pv4, maybe taking out a defense card out of his hand, and at least there's a small chance that maybe it could be successful. Didn't really expect it, but there's always maybe the hope. There's of course also the danger that maybe Marta Becher could now go for an aggression, and that maybe that one could go through now, but at the end I just thought that I'm willing to risk that at the end just to maybe remove a defense card. There could maybe be another colony coming, and I have actually drawn two H3 defense cards with my first draw, so I might be prepared to win one of those. And with that, I went for this aggression. I had actually one event in hand, a Ravages of Time, which was somewhat interesting, with the special case being that all of the players have an H1 wonder, but I was too afraid at this point to give up on one of my wonders, because the Great Wall is just too strong, and the two happy faces from the Forbidden City are still quite valuable. Of course, it will take some time until it will be revealed, but there's also the politics of strength still being in the deck, and I wouldn't win it. I won't get stronger this turn, so maybe I could have pushed, but I at the end just rather went for the aggression. And then for this turn, it wasn't really clear for me what I should do. I think there are some different options. I could try to get stronger, maybe set up for the politics of strength, maybe still hoping to then draw some nice stuff. Maybe that could actually be a nice thing. But there are also some potentially nice options to increase my economy. I thought about maybe doing a little bit of a mix and going for building one more cannon, but also investing into computer upgrades. That could maybe be interesting, setting up a lot of science production, and also with me wanting to go for a new leader, and both Marlene Dietrich probably maybe being taken away by Martin, and also Pierre. I'm not really set up for both of those, and then there's still Sid Meier, Steve Jobs, Marie Curie left, so computers could be quite nice to have. But when I go for this turn with cannons and computers, I'm quite low in resources. I have only 6 resource production after doing this turn, and don't have really a lot of yellow cards, so I have didn't like it too much, even though I think it could be an interesting option. And at the end, I will actually end up going for the oil, because I have some decent science production. It is still relatively early. It, of course, is a bit annoying just having gone for the coal, and the upgrades from coal to oil are maybe not that efficient, but it's still quite early. I think setting up a strong resource production can still be quite strong. And so I ended up going for the oil, developing it, and then I have enough resources to go for an upgrade from bronze to oil, putting me 10 resource production, which I think is quite strong. I still have some nice science, sadly, just not enough to threaten to go for the democracy at the next turn, but in 2 turns I maybe could potentially go for it, and I just end up taking the urban growth in the computers. I could, of course, also take the endowment, but with all of those strong, potentially strong computer leaders in the game, I wanted to secure this copy, also maybe take it away from my opponents, who could maybe both make some use out of it. And so I just made the decision to set up a little bit of economy here. I didn't have a strong H3 tactic yet. I maybe could definitely think about getting stronger with the politics of strength, and just saying that I commit a little bit more into this direction, as it maybe could give me some more chances. to make something big happen, but I was hoping that maybe it could also be that the politics of strength is not revealed before my next turn, and then that after having set up a little bit of economy, that I then can start going for military, or if maybe I draw some strong impacts, continue with just building up a very strong economy. And so that just maybe allows me also to stay a little bit more flexible. But I wasn't really certain with this turn. I think there are a lot of different options possible.
I was very surprised by your turn. Not very surprised, but I feel like I missed something, or maybe there's like economic progress coming because yeah, it looks well. It's a beautiful cross that you did, like with your iron and your. It's I don't know. It's a nice shape, but yeah, it looks maybe a bit ugly. I don't know, but yeah, I was surprised that you would go for coal this way, but maybe you don't have a lot of other option. But yeah, it was not the easiest turn for you, maybe.
Yeah, I'm also a bit
Yeah.
surprised, but yeah, I think it does look way more threatening because you could do something like pop twice, build a journalism or whatever, and upgrade something like, later on. But I think then you're just falling behind because yeah, you're maybe slowly catching up to me, but with the same economy, and it's probably not enough then. And don't think you're catching up to Martin like this. So I think it makes sense to just go for big rock production here
Yeah,
and go
maybe
for
maybe a
set up
cross gives
for a
you
big.
extra luck, or it's a prayer or something. I don't know.
Think like this, you can maybe set up for a big war or something later on, especially
Yeah,
with the
and
Great Wall.
yeah, and it just keeps me a bit more flexible because I think it definitely could have been option to now get stronger, be definitely prepared for the politics of strength, even though when Marta goes for Marlene, then he might be stronger again anyway, and I might not win it, but my chances are definitely increasing to win it, and then maybe I could already go a bit all in into a more military heavy approach, but the oil just allows me to stay a bit more flexible. If I now draw some nice impacts, I can start preparing for those. If I draw some wars in a tactic, I can also still build up for a very big war. So just the flexibility, I think, was really nice. But I was a little bit sad because when I first saw the iconoclasm revealed, I thought, nice, Shakespeare's gone. But now with me going for the oil, I also really wished maybe James would have been there for one more turn, saving me for science, maybe for resources, also to culture actually with the oil. So the iconoclasm ended up also being a bit painful for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, maybe even more painful in the end. Maybe more painful than for me because, like, as you can see, there are like a lot of options: Chaplin, Dietrich. But for you, it's like it's like a cost, something you lost right away, and yeah, it's quite costly in science and resource.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
weird to say that the iconoclasm was worse for the Watt player than for the Shakespeare player.
Yeah, yeah.
it's a game of first times. I
Yeah.
think this one.
No, definitely quite unusual. At the end of my turn, I don't draw any tactic or war, but what I do draw is the impact of science, which at least could be quite a strong impact with me having just also taken the computers.
Okay.
So here I'm going to see what is it? Something developed territory, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, it was like the other impact. I had impact of industry, but like with oil out, and yeah, I didn't think it would have changed anything. So yeah, I think it was like developed, or maybe I could have done industry anyway. But maybe I thought I had to like late in the game I would have to destroy some iron because I'm going to have to defend, and my like food production isn't going to be the best. So. And like maybe pv4 goes for oil too, so I thought industry is not the best, so not much to gain with it. So yeah, just develop territory. What does it reveal? Political options. I'm very happy to see it. Of course, it's I don't do anything special. Maybe hybrid war. You're always happy to see it because you know no one else is going to have it. And with Marlen, it's always good because yeah, you oftentimes you're not going to have like a happy faces problem. So hybrid war is very good for me, even though military is not the way I want to go right now, of course. But yeah, very happy to see hybrid war. For the rest, it's just like entrenchment, which is not what I want to do. Yeah, not a lot of impact of competition, which is not what I want to do too. So yeah, but it's okay. Always good to see hybrid wars. So then I go for Marlin. It's the best I can ask for. No more happy faces problem. An extra army just for free right now. And then of course there is the Air Forces for two CA. It's always a very good sight, and even more when you have only like 6 CA. So I just take it. It's very fortunate for me, I think. And then the military theory, I don't have any military blue tech, so I take it too. And it's an easy turn, I think. I just take what I need, the risk I have, and I think I can win the culture game. Even though I see that pv4 has an okay culture production and some resource, I think I can. I have enough to like go for the culture way and just win it without making anything happen. So yeah, I was quite happy with this turn. Yeah, the Air Forces for 2 is it's the cherry on top.
Yeah, I can imagine. I would.
Yeah, it was.
I would be happy
I
to.
saw it appear.
Like
Yeah, I saw it appear. So, okay.
pick the Air Force, the military theory. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it's
everything
like
you need here.
and yet rich and a free army.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was alright. It was alright.
Yeah.
And I
on
even I'm sorry, I just thought about something else, but then I even set myself up for a possible war and possible like war with culture I have and Ibudar I have too. So here I think the next turn I can go double Air Forces. I need to disband something, but it's nothing, and I can go for 53, which is already a big number if nothing happens. So yeah, it's like I had the possibility to switch from culture and even keeping the culture way. Just if someone doesn't follow, I can go for the war and get some extra culture and really like get heard in the game. So yeah, it was a very very good turn for me, and yeah, I even have the war potential.
Yeah, and like you ask over my long-term plans, and after this turn, I think I'm very much in survival mode because I think it's it's gonna be pretty much impossible to catch up to this, and I think I'm still ahead of Weidenbaum, but I have to be very very careful to not get hit by some more because then I'm and with the 3 MAs. So that's super risky, and indeed, after you threaten the war with 2 air forces here, I have to be very careful to not get hit by that. And also just to defend against aggressions.
Yeah, also for me it will be a bit threatening with the potential wars or that
And I think
influence our turn.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah, I think I had an aggression. I could have like followed after Weidenbaum aggression and go for an aggression myself, but it was only infiltrate, and I thought like, of course, nine culture is always good, but I wanted to push the deck, and I think there was like a reason for this. I had maybe I wanted the international negotiation. I don't know. There was a reason for this. I pushed the deck. It made sense, but I had the aggression, but I wasn't really afraid of pv4. And now that I think of it, I was more afraid maybe of Weidenbaum going for the big economical play. So yeah, I didn't really care about trying to kill Churchill. So yeah, I went for the random event instead. I don't know if it was the right play, but since I got political options, it was the right play, obviously.
Yeah, but you knew about negotiations, so I think it's the less risky play for you because there's still a pretty high chance that I have a defense card still. So just take the guaranteed 2 culture and chance of negotiations. I think.
Yeah, I think it was something like that in the end. Yeah. But yeah, I thought like I consider it because then maybe you had like no 0 card, and then it gets very very dangerous for you if you defend. You can potentially have 0 card, and no one wants that on a 3 May during at 3. So, but I just took the free culture in the end, and it was fine, and I got rewarded for it quite a bit with politics options.
yeah. So on my turn, like I said, I have to defend, and I'm actually not even using the build-up because yeah, it's too much resources at this point that I can't really use. By building 2 cavalrymen, I go up to 27, which is just enough to let me defend with 1-4 and 2 other cards. So it should still signal to Martin that I can defend. Actually, I won't have a draw this turn, I think, because of politics of strength. But yeah, I can still defend if I have one H2 defense card. And then I take the second copy of oil, and I'll take this efficient upgrade, which I can use with Harvard and Silk Road for a very efficient upgrade. And then I'll take the reserves and the mech egg, and yeah, even use my last military action for one more upgrade. Like I said, I wasn't going to draw cards anyway because of the politics of strength. And like this, I can defend just the same. But I get this extra upgrade in. And now, at least, again, I threaten to build 3 units with the 3 MAs, which could be enough, I think, if they're tanks. Yeah, either tanks or air forces can give me quite a bit of extra strength here. And I also go for this oil because both of my opponents now have bigger production. I don't want to fall behind here. I do have some science to spare, and also I have my only impact is impact of balance. I have one drown already, so that's good actually. And it could be something to play towards by taking this mech egg and building this oil and hopefully getting multimedia later on. Then I could have a nice impact of balance in the end. And there's also a red cross in the game, by the way. But it's on the board now. I don't know. Could be taken by Weidenbaum. But yeah, we'll see.
No, I
Okay,
think it might.
I'm think like you're really like carried by your wonders because like the Silk Road plus Harvard, it's every turn, even though you it seems like you have nothing, you can make something happen with patriotism, with efficient upgrade, with revolution idea, and the OLS on top. So it's a very 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 strong set of wonders. That's really really. I think it carried you through all the game very very nicely.
No, especially with that many civil actions, and basically the ocean liner service can also be counted as a civil action. Then having Silk Road plus Harvard is just so pleasant to play. So no. And no, at my turn I am the weakest, and both of my opponents, especially Mata, did put a little bit of an effort to get stronger, but also not too much. I think those turns would also be nice, maybe without strength events awaiting, but I was willing to see it because I had the impact of science and I didn't have a war on a tactic yet, and I thought one way to come back is maybe with a bunch of strong impacts, and I just wanted to start seeding instead of skipping my politics phase, and I was happy to not get punished by the civil unrest. In this turn, again, there might be some options. I definitely could consider the Red Cross with having had 13 food saved up at the beginning of my turn, but Matabishir is now looking threatening, can go for 53 strength, and I just think I might really need the population. And while a wonder might be nice to get, I also kind of want to get a leader, and I think Steve Jobs is definitely a nice solution for me because he might allow me to generate some culture, but also the happy faces are actually very useful immediately. Frees up populations so that I can put into cannons to get a bit stronger, and I at the end made also the decision to build even another cannon because I thought there might be some other strength events coming early on. Matabishir, I think 2 turns ago or something, built a knight where, I mean, I think maybe it was to get out of corruption, but it made him the strongest. So I thought there could maybe be another strength event in there, in addition to the politics of strength that I've seeded. That, of course, now is already out. But so I, at the end, was willing to go for 2 cannons, but that was also a bit painful because with my last civil actions, I have only 1 hand space left. So if I want to use both of them, I need to free up my hand. And now the only thing way I can do it is with developing a technology. But sadly, that means, and now that I have no resources left, that I can't use Steve Jobs. So it felt a bit painful to not activate his ability. But I still, at the end, was fine with this turn. And then also a decision at the end was to whether I want to take the revolutionary idea or if I want to go for this one upgrade for free now with the urban growth increasing my science production. Like this, the revolutionary idea, if I take it, basically only gives me 4 science for 2 civil actions instead of 6 because I would miss out on the upgrade. And who knows, maybe at the next turn I have a lot of important stuff to do. Maybe if there's the fast food chains, which would be the last wonder, that would be really nice for me. I might be willing to take it for a lot of civil actions, and then I might not even have the civil actions to go for the upgrade at the next turn, costing me again some science. Now I also have 18 science, being able to go for democracy without having to spend any civil actions to take the revolutionary idea. So even though the rev idea could still be nice to have, because more science with Steve Jobs is definitely not bad, but at the end I just rather wanted to have already the civil action spent to the for upgrading the computers, and now at least I have a potentially strong economical setup, and the impact of science is in the deck, which gave me some hope. I will also get 3 draws. I'm the strongest, and can maybe still hope for something like positional army or entrenchments to get something done. And but they are missing out on the revolutionary idea hurt a little bit, but at the end I rather went for the upgrade.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I think the Red Cross doesn't.
No, I think I just
would never have been enough. I think you had to go for something a little bit more long term, and Steve Jobs is.
No, and I also kind of need a population, especially if I maybe do still draw a tactic in a war. I, at the end, don't draw any tactic or war, but again, a potentially interesting impact of progress. So if I find some nice blue technologies or maybe an H3 government farm, that could end up being quite nice. And also, I draw another 2 colonization cards. So if there's a colony coming, I am now nicely prepared to win it.
But like, weren't you afraid that I was like maybe going to war you because I like here if I
I
war
was
you?
I was definitely quite afraid, but basically I was already did everything that I could. I invested all of my resources into
Yeah.
cannons, and there I think also wasn't any resource yellow card that I could have taken. So basically I just did everything that I could, and I was just hoping that maybe you have to be afraid of positional army or entrenchments, and you have to make some distraction in order to make the war possible. There could maybe be some events coming. I was just hoping that with your good position, you were not really willing to take some risks, and
Yeah,
also I
yeah.
couldn't
I
really
think
do a
that's.
lot about it. So at the end, I was just praying that there won't be a war coming.
That's sometimes that's the best idea. But you could have gone like for patriotism,
Okay,
but it's quite it starts to get a bit expensive just for like a chance to get air forces.
yeah,
But
that's true. The patriotism is available, so that could have been an option to make it a bit more safe. But I think it would have been also quite
yeah, it's
expensive and would make myself miss out on a lot of other stuff. But
yeah,
it could have
just
been an option to just be a bit more safe.
but I think it's like what you did is the right play because as you said, like I don't want to risk anything if I think I'm ahead and I like I saw like the oil construction, so I think maybe there's like economic progress and these kind of things, maybe freedom of movement, and I don't know. So in the end, I didn't go for the war, even though I think it's maybe it's a winning war. But yeah, I think I didn't need to do that. So I think your thinking was the good one. So instead, I just go for the military alliance. I could have gone for tourism, but I don't think my Machu Picchu seemed very interesting for anyone.
I want to visit
So
it sometimes. So
I'm sorry I didn't hear that.
I want to visit Machu Picchu sometimes.
Oh,
So
well, for one culture, you can go. You're welcome. I'll go see. You can come with your boat.
it's not far.
So yeah, and instead I had a very strong turn. So why go for a war when you can go for a strong turn? So I just go for democracy. It's what I hoped. Then go for just go for the reversion ID because I'm missing like a little bit of science. I could have gone like directly for drama instead, but I just want to be safe and maybe threatening a bit, and I went for the internet decision instead of the waiting for Hollywood, even though I'm the only one that can go for Hollywood because I thought like I have nothing else to do really right now. It won't matter a lot between internet and since I have also journalism, I think it won't be a big difference with Hollywood. I don't know, maybe I calculated wrong, but I think it's enough. It's like just big enough to be sure I'm going to have enough culture to win the game. So I just start my wonder now and never think about it later. I don't go for the maximum culture because I don't really need that. I just I just try to balance things up a little bit, be able to go for air forces next turn. Just I think I get it by corruption. Yeah, I just want to be safe and like go on with the plan, which is just doing more culture than the rest of you and waiting for the income to be enough. And yeah, I think the game will end soon enough that your bigger engines will not catch up to me. So that's the hope anyway. So it's not a very not a lot of decision. I think in this turn, just go following with the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks very strong. Now you're really starting to generate a culture lead. You have the big internet that you can potentially finish, and the air force to defend yourself. So at this point, started to lose maybe the rest of the hope to catch up to you. I mean, there can always be something possible with an entrenchments or something, but at this point, I really thought it could be very difficult to catch up to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was quite confident about my chances right now, but yeah, you always when you're ahead like that, you're always scared like you missed something or you're going to blunder something. So yeah, I always I'm even more cautious when I'm ahead than when I'm behind because you
That's
figure
right attitude.
I don't wanna miss this one.
Yeah. I was pretty disappointed this turn to not see war actually,
Hmm.
because I think I was better prepared. I couldn't like if Air Force show up, I can build three uh, with the military buildup.
Hmm.
While Weinbaum was for sure losing the war, except maybe help from the event tech. So I kind of like after the politics of strength, I was expecting a war here.
Hmm.
So I was
Yeah, it
a
was
bit sad that it didn't happen.
it was like it. I think War was a good player as well, but yeah, just if you think you're like this much ahead,
Uh,
just go for the safe play.
yeah, maybe if that democracy doesn't show up, you end up going for
Yeah,
war.
but
So
it's possible. Like even maybe hybrid war because the risk is there's almost no risk with hybrid war. Like even if you lose, it doesn't matter much. So I think without democracy, I would have gone for the hybrid war against either you or Weidenbaum. I don't know. Maybe
I
Weidenbaum
think
because it was
Weinbaum was the lower, if I
yeah,
remember,
yeah,
because I
yeah. I
can
think
build three air forces, which is
okay,
5, 6
yeah.
plus.
So yes,
Yeah,
so it was in the cards, but when I saw democracy and I just had the right amount of like it was it was it looked so good I couldn't resist, you know.
yeah. Then yeah, I'm taking the tanks here, so I think I still have to be very careful for military. Because you have the Rev ID, so you can still go for 2 air forces, and you even are. Oh no, that's because of the pact, right? Uh, so I will again go for another upgrade to my cavalry. Take the patriotism for 2 here, and again get nice use of
18.
out of the Harvard and the Silk Road. And because of the extra military actions, it's super important. I actually can use my military buildup here, because this was pretty difficult for me to get all the resources from Churchill, the military buildup, and the patriotism. But thanks to all the MAs, I can actually do this and build some extra tank and do a lot of upgrades here. I think build 1 tank and upgrade 3 knights to tanks. And now I'm actually quite a bit stronger than the others, which is again just a defensive play, just making use of all the military rocks. But it has to happen at some point anyway, and thanks to that patriotism, I can do that now. And again, there's at this point no multimedia or something on the board, nothing I can really go for. So this was a good turn to upgrade my military. I'll also get the second oil upgrade in because there's not that much else I have to do. I take this urban growth, but getting this oil upgrade could potentially mean a big balance because now I'm ready to, with the urban growth, I can easily go for 2 multimedias, and then if I at the end maybe upgrade my mechanized agriculture, I could have a very big balance potentially, which would be nice.
Yeah, I think the turn looked quite strong with that many additional military resources. And for my next turn,
And actually,
no,
I was very happy with my draw here. I draw Impact of Happiness, which is maybe not great. I mean, I currently have 2 more happy faces than Weidenbaum, but it's something I can see at some point, which is because I'm not sure this balance will work out. Because, for example, Weidenbaum also has decent balance. So if I end up not being able to go for all that, then I maybe can't see balance. So this is at least something I can see at some point. Yeah.
yeah. And then for my turn, it was quite a difficult turn. First of all, I start seeding the impact of progress. I will go for democracy this turn and also maybe civil unrest, even though I wasn't completely certain when I seeded it if I will go for it. And then there's the strategic territory revealed, and that gives me the nice opportunity to use all of my defense cards. I am able to win it, and I can just use all of my 4 defense cards. And that was really nice for me because either I can hope to get a lot of strong impacts, maybe helping me, or maybe still something to work with for the military. At the end, I didn't get the most exciting draws, the impact of variety, but still no war. One tactic now, the mechanized army tactic, which at least could potentially be interesting, especially if I get air forces. But it's not that much time left, so I think at this point it is not that easy to set up for war. And it was even the other direction. I at this point was actually quite a bit afraid of a potential war. And it was difficult for me to figure out how much risk do I need to take and how careful do I have to be, because first I thought I'm not that much in danger, but I mean Martin Pêcheur can potentially go for 2 air forces, but the even potentially more threatening opponent could be pv4, who didn't have a lot of draws, but if he should have a war, there are some scenarios how he could go for war. He has only 3 military actions, but he has the Harvard College in the Silk Road. There is 1 copy of patriotism left. He could just take and play it, go for 2 tanks, and would be at 67 strength. If he maybe also can somehow implement the air forces into this, the strength potential gets even higher. There could also maybe be the case that a revolutionary idea falls down very quickly the row, and then together with the military theory, that could also enable a war with 2 additional tanks. And that was an annoying possibility for me because I can't that easily set up for it without making some sacrifices. And I also thought that I need to generate some culture now, improve my position, because if I'm playing it too safe, I will fall behind too much. Also, with having used all of those defense cards, I was afraid also from an aggression. I had no defense cards left, and if there's an aggression, I could also get punished. So now, for the aggression, I can't that easily prepare. I could, of course, build 2 cannons, but it would be a bit costly. And for the war, to be really safe, I maybe would need to develop some of those military techs from H2 now. But at the end, I was just hoping with pv4 not having that many draws, and with him getting that strong also being very much explainable without having a war or maybe an aggression, because maybe just wanting to make use out of all the additional military resources. I was going for turn where I take some risks, but also maybe leave myself some doors open how to defend myself. I will go for the democracy, develop it with Steve Jobs. I think I definitely have to take 1 copy of reserves, otherwise I'm threatening 2 less strength, because without it I can't go for 4 cannons, for 2 more fortifications tactics. And then I go for something that I first didn't want to do. I build a cannon, but this has an important reason, because it makes me potentially a bit more threatening, because it was a very complicated turn, but if the age doesn't end before my next turn, now with having spent 1 military action, I actually have enough to potentially build 1 more cannon, build 3 riflemen, and then reveal the tactic, the entrenchments tactic, which I don't have, but with I was hoping with pv4 not having that much draws that he maybe doesn't have knowledge about it, and that would be enough to not to I think potentially win the war for me, so that he hopefully won't go for one, or that it at least will be threatening. But then again, it's not certain that the age will actually continue until my next turn, so I had to think about how many cards do I actually want to take from the row. I really wanted to take the civil service because it will give me 4 additional points for the impact of progress, and it's just a nice thing to develop. With having a Steve Jobs, the revolutionary deal could be nice to have, but the more cards I take, the more likely it gets that maybe there's the danger that the age will end. Also, it's more likely that a patriotism could maybe fall down a lot more. All of this is, of course, only important if pv4 actually has a war, but yeah, that potential of a war made me feel quite a bit in danger at this point. At the end, I made the decision to take some risks and play for something nice, because I also think I can't play too conservatively here. I ended up taking the civil service. And then also the revolutionary idea. I think maybe I could have skipped the revolutionary idea, rather again went for one free upgrade. I'm actually not completely certain why I went for it. I think it makes it more likely that I can go for 3 more techs before the end of the game. If I just go for the upgrade, I think then I need to get the mechanized agriculture and then either satellites or rockets to actually be able to still easily go for 3 technologies in total. And so I at the end took the revolutionary. However, that makes it more likely that there is actually the threat of the age ending, depending on what Martin Pêcheur will do, which was also not that easy for me to foresee. And yeah, it was a very complicated turn. I'm completely not certain if I did the right thing. Maybe I shouldn't have taken revolutionary idea to at least slow the deck a little bit down, because if the age end, I will lose now cannons, cavalrymen and riflemen, making me a lot less threatening. And if there is a war, I could get hit by it. I could get hit by an aggression. And no, it was very complicated. I considered a lot of different lines, and at the end, still was not certain if what I needed to do, how much risk do I need to take, and I just went for a bit of a risky line, with at least there being the hope of me still being able to threaten a reasonable amount of strength when the riflemen are still there for me at the next turn.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. I think you're setting yourself like I think I was more afraid of you than pv4, because you had with Steve Jobs, and culture can go like you can produce almost as much culture as me every turn, and then maybe you get like the fast food chains. It was like the most likely that you would get it, and then maybe there are good impacts, and so I think it was you were still threatening to me. I think like enough chance. So yeah,
Actually,
I think
I thought I was ahead of Weidenbaum, also because of the fast food chains. I actually have much better chance of getting it
Mm.
because I'm ahead of Weidenbaum.
Yeah.
So I actually thought I was still quite ahead of him, actually, especially
Yeah,
now that I have the strength figured
I think
out.
maybe you were like ahead of him, but I think like maybe I don't know if it makes sense or not, but maybe it was like for more you I felt like I had like almost no risk of losing to you, and I
Yeah,
have like some risk to lose to Weidenbaum. So that's what I thought at the time. Maybe I was wrong, but
maybe.
like I think I saw you are like future potential if you go for the wonder, if you go for this, if you go for that, and I thought like no, like either you go for a war, and then maybe you're going to come close with like come like a short with because the impacts won't be as good. This kind of thing. I think that's why that's why I thought this way.
Okay.
Yeah, from my perspective, I thought that if the game stays peaceful, I could have an edge over pv4 because of the impact draws that I had already at this point, with the impact of science, impact of progress that I hopefully will make better, and now I have also drawn the impact of technology. With that, I was hoping if the game stays peaceful, I could maybe have an edge, but I still felt very much afraid to lose this game, because if pv4 has a war, or if he has an aggression, that could already swing the game very much in his favor. And he also, of course, could still have some nice impacts for his own, and has the better chance to get a fast food chain. So I was at this point not too happy about my position, but also still had some hope, especially if the game stays peaceful.
Yeah. So here I see my own international negotiation. I knew I was going to lose it. I think I've thought about this turn quite a bit, and I think it was the penultimate turn. So yeah, I see the impact of government, which is a good impact for me. Maybe a little bit better for Weidenbaum, but a lot better for pv4. That's also why I was confident against pv4. I think I had like some impact. I don't know. But you're going to get military theory maybe, so yeah, I don't know. And my turn is pretty much take all the cards, build an extra drama, and please war Weidenbaum. It's like I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to give you all the potential to go forward, because if you two go forward, there is absolutely no way any of you is catching me. And next turn I can go for my wonder, an extra air force, and I'm pretty much safe, I think. So yeah, just I considered many lies, I think, but it was like a little variation. But in the end, I thought like just try to make a war happen, and then they can battle it out between themselves, and I will be safe in the end. That's what I thought anyway.
Yeah.
Because you have
Yeah.
like maybe 72. I don't know how many you could have gone to, but oh yeah, no, it was a very complicated turn, because I was afraid that you would war me with the military theory, the patriotism, the air forces. So I think I did like the exact an exact calculation, like the card row. You have to get revolutionary ID and military theory. Then maybe you like a civil action or something. So it was quite a complicated turn for me in the end. But I think I did it exactly, so you can ward Weidenbaum and be pretty confident you win, and war me and then you lose.
Yeah.
It was like balancing everything up, so it's pretty hard to talk about it. But it was like I did what I had to do.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I was very much afraid after this turn because the patriotism is coming down the road, the air forces are available, and my fears of that I had during my turn just got a lot bigger now that you went for this turn, and the rifleman will be gone very likely before my turn if pv4 goes for war.
yeah, luckily I didn't have to do any calculations. I just see
Yeah.
the impact of balance, and I was actually happy with this event. I think I was bidding even 2 units, like quite a bit for this, but I get it for free. But it's actually very nice for me, because otherwise I would get my last population this turn from the ocean liner, and now I actually have more. And the food I got from the international negotiations was very useless before this turn, but is actually now very nice. Because I get an extra population out, and that lets me go very cleanly for 2 multimedias now. And so that's why I also see the impact of balance this turn, because I now know that I will be able to go for balance before the end of the game. It's in the next stack, so I will have time to set up my food as well. And so I can go for 2 multimedias. And then with my last actions, I take the military theory, which is just good for some impacts. And I have exactly 18 signs now after these multimedias, so I can go for mechanized and military theory. So pretty clean turn overall.
Yeah, I definitely not a bad turn, but I was still relieved that that there is no war, and also that the fast food chains aren't revealed. So I have now the chance to get the fast food chains. I don't get hit by a war on aggression. So it was strong to go for those multimedias, but I feared much worse things for me. So I was then very happy to go into my turn with now maybe still chances for second place.
Yeah, the fact that I didn't get fast food change was definitely a bit big disappointment.
No.
At least
With
I had
all the card I
the
took,
backup plan of this. Sorry?
with all the card I took, it was
Yes,
it was not the best
and
for you.
Weidenbaum also was like 6 cards after Weidenbaum's turn, and another 6 or something after your turn, and then still no fast food. That was unfortunate, but at least I had this other plan with the impact of balance, which I could execute then.
No. And at my turn, I seeded the impact of technology into the deck, which I had drawn before, and the national bride is revealed, so Mata getting 5 more culture, getting an even bigger lead. I can just develop the civil service this turn with Steve Jobs, getting me out of corruption, leaving me with a lot of civil actions that I can use to take the fast food chains. And then early on, I see the impact of science, and you just went for 2 multimedia, so I kind of have to improve again for the impact of science. So I go for 1 upgrade to computers with the urban growth, build an additional printing press, bringing me to 13 science production, and then I have only 1 civil action left. And with the impact of progress coming, I just went for the engineering. And no, with that I only take 1 card, so it's not guaranteed that I can go for 2 technologies at the next turn, but I think it's very likely, because Matabeshe would need to take 1 of the 2 rockets, and he has probably better things to do for himself to improve his internet. Could of course take it to, but then yeah, he also would need to hope that pv4 takes the satellites and the second copy of rockets away. So I didn't think that this would happen, and with that I hopefully will get rockets or maybe even better satellites at the next turn, so that I can go for 2 technologies, finish the fast food chains, and then maybe do some small impact preparations in addition to that.
Yeah, no, for my last turn, I think I did like a blunder something. Like it was not a real blunder in the end, but I thought I blundered because I see like I just look at my phone, check the game, and I had the impact of trend, and it looked pretty good because again I was only afraid of Weidenbaum. So and I saw like if I go for the impact of trend, I finish my internet, I go for a 1A for Air Force. He can't catch me in the strength department. So I see the impact of it, and then I see that pv4 with balance, and he can overcome me in strength, and then balance, and then technology, and maybe if all impacts go his way, he can get pretty damn close. So I was a bit disappointed at myself, just going for the quick logical impact, which was not logical. I think I had like an easy mathematical win just by not seeding anything, but I played a little bit too fast. But anyway, since I did that, I had to like actually calculate to be absolutely sure I'm going to win. I think I was winning pretty much anything that would happen. I would win anyway, but it was a lot closer. But it's only at this moment that I realized that maybe this pv4 guy can overcome me. It was before I didn't even look at it, and now I thought, yeah, maybe with the right impact. So yeah, here I just go for the internet. I go for my for there are like other variation where I go for tanks or something, but it didn't matter much. I calculated the impact. It was like what made the most sense. I hope that pv4 would take the satellites because I was pretty sure progress was in the deck. But yeah, so I did a turn like that. I think yeah, the impact of trends seeding was not so good, but in the end, I think I was pretty confident about my chances anyway.
So impact of strength was this turn.
Yeah, this turn.
But yeah, then impact of science was revealed, which was better for Weidenbaum. So maybe that's
Yeah. Yeah, it's but like I just did it without calculating anything, and then I look at the thing and I say, oh yeah, it's you can between strength and you can have a huge balance, and then you can have a lot of technology, and then you can go satellites or military. I thought when I first thought about it, so yeah. It was like you seem to be very far back, but in the end. It's like maybe it was like 5 impacts going for more than 10 each, and you can overcome a lot of points this way.
Yeah, I see happiness and government comes out, which I was planning to improve on with military theory, but then I changed my mind after this came out anyway. So I take the satellites away from Weidenbaum in case of progress, and then I can just as well develop the satellites instead of the military theory, now that government is out, and get the mech ag, of course, and do the upgrades. And
Oh yeah, in
Yeah.
my calculation, like you weren't making the I forgot about the Silk Road, and then you weren't making the organized religion, and then I saw you going for an extra building, and I thought like, where is it coming from? And then I thought maybe I'm going to lose
Yeah,
doing some stupid stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course I have to build the church because of happiness and also do the second upgrade. And this put me at 11, so 22 points for balance. I could go for another other upgrade and get 2 guaranteed points, but I thought it would be like Martin got stronger on his turn, so I think it's nicer to upgrade my military and just get 1 stronger than him because of strength and competition. And also Weidenbaum, I think yeah, his turn is fairly locked because he has to build a fast food chain so he can't get stronger than me. So I went for the extra strength instead.
Now, at my turn, I won't push an impact I had to that potentially could be seedable, the impact of variety and the impact of harmony, but I know that the impact of progress is on top and I will improve it by 4, and with that it was just not worth it to seed. So I skipped the politics phase, and then I think I do a mistake this turn, one that luckily doesn't get punished at the end, but I think was just one turn that was clearly a little bit better. I will go for the engineering, finish the fast food chains, and then I will, or first of all, I will go for second technology. That is, of course, important with Steve Jobs and the impact of technology coming. I finish the fast food chains, and then with having knowledge about impact of variety and impact of harmony, I can relatively safely delete both a mine and a swordsman, and I will end up going for 2 religions, giving me 2 save points and also improving my impact of happiness. But I think it would have been a lot better to, instead of building one of the religions, build an additional farm before finishing the fast food chains, also getting 1 save point, and then I don't get a 2 for happiness, but I get 2 for balance and +1 for agriculture. And while the impact of happiness definitely might be in there with both of you having the full amount of happy faces, I think the impact of balance and agriculture seem maybe even a bit more likely with pv4 going for 2 mechanized agricultures. So I think that has to be the better decision with the knowledge that I had, but I maybe played this turn a bit too quickly, and at the end went for the religion. Luckily for me, I don't get punished for this because there's impact of balance and impact of happiness, both seeded by pv4, so at the end doesn't make a difference, but I think it was a mistake on my part here. And yeah, now we are just before the final impacts, and I didn't know how confident I should feel about the position, because I will go into the impacts with, I think, about 20 more culture than pv4. And I also have some more impacts that will at least generate me some additional culture against him. But then again, it's kind of looking like there might be impact of balance. It's kind of looking like there might be impact of strength, and those would be quite bad for me. So I felt it could get quite close, and yeah, will now of course just depend on the impacts that I at this point didn't have knowledge about. And we can see the first one, which is the impact of happiness. So at least that one I did improve. And yeah, Mata has at this point quite a big of a lead, so I think there would need to be some very strong impacts in order to catch up to him. At least the impact of progress allows some catching up and also gives me some points against pv4, making it that again there's a 20 culture difference between us. After the impact of happiness was revealed, it was a bit closer. There's the impact of technology seeded by me, bringing me in pv4 again a bit closer to Martar and giving me +4 against pv4. And now there were 2 impacts that were known by me, and one of them is the impact of balance, giving pv4 +10 against me. And now I was really hoping that there won't be an impact of strength, but there is an impact of strength, and that actually makes it that I and pv4 finish at the same amount of culture, and yeah, we'll have a shared second place at the end of the game. And yeah, at the end Martar wins it, but maybe we at least were able to catch up some points to him.
Yeah, it was close. It was closer than it looked. I think early H3. So you both had the good impacts, but yeah, it was close in the end.
Yeah, 23, not much, and yeah, quite fitting the draw at the end for second place. I think was quite funny.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, I think it was my fault because I shouldn't have seeded this one. I mean, I never should have seeded this impact of friends. So yeah, it was a bad play. So I'm sorry, Weidenbaum. It's but yeah.
No, I think it was quite an exciting finish. After not getting hit by the war, I thought maybe there are some good chances, but then of course this big impact of balance and the impact of strength also were some good impacts, and then at the end it was actually very close and actually a tie, which is always very exciting for a finish.
Yeah. From my perspective, it was just sad to see all of progress, technology, science come out.
Yeah.
So, but we got all. And maybe with that, we should take a look at the the standings after this game. Do we have to give a disclaimer? No, we're actually at the point where we were at this point, so we can now see the standings exactly after this game finished.
I think any madman that still listening to us after like maybe 3 hours is knowing what's going to happen.
So yeah, here are the standings then after this game, and actually this game was the one that decided the championship because I have 2 games to play, so I can get at most 9 points, which brings me to 23. E5 has the same games to play and fewer points, and Weidenbaum still can win 12 points plus 5 is 17, so get to 22, and every number is smaller than the 25 that Martin has. So with that, we have a champion of the World Championship, and it's Martin Pêcheur. Congratulations.
Ooh. Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. Now you can start with your speech that you have prepared.
Yeah, of course. Like, I told you before we started that I have a 2T for my voice, so it doesn't go to this way. But the 2T are like finished for 2 hours, so I can't talk anymore. It's impossible. But maybe I can give you like a funny story that happened to me. It was not in this game. It was like the other game we played against. So it was like Weidenbaum, E5, and myself. And it was like I did, I think, quite a big comeback culture-wise, but I agonized about so many things in my last turn, and I seeded in the end, and I revealed the impact of strength. And I knew that this impact meant that I would win this game, this other game, and I was pretty sure I was winning this game, like the game we talked about right now. So when I revealed this impact in the other game, I knew I won the championship. So I shooted something stupid, because when you win something big, you always shoot something stupid. So I shooted champagne, like the champagne, like when you win like a Formula race, you get some champagne. So I shooted this from my desk and went on with my life. And then I go to my living room, and my wife asks me, what did you shoot? I said, I don't know. I shoot something. I don't know. I just won the championship. I'm happy. I don't know what to shoot. Are you sure you didn't shoot Chantal? Because Chantal is I don't know where this is going. Chantal is the name of a woman. So she thought I shooted Chantal, and that Chantal was my mistress or something. So yeah, that's what happened when I won the championship. I shooted the name of a girl, and my wife thinks I have a mistress named Chantal. So it's a long way anecdotes, but yeah, that's something that happened when I won the championship. I thought it was a little bit funny. I don't know. After 3 hours, I can't think clearly anymore. So yeah, I'm happy to have won it. My wife thinks now I have a mistress, but it's okay. It's fine. Champagne. Champagne is a very dumb thing to shout. I don't know whether I shot it champagne, but yeah. I don't know. So yeah, I'm happy about it. It's a long road, like maybe 10 or 11 months. And yeah, it's last year I finished third, Weidenbaum finished first, and this time I finished first, and Weidenbaum finished at some other places. We'll see. But yeah, it was a very, very long road, but very happy to have won it. But it could have gone any other way. And yeah, it was a very nice game. I think the finals was very well fought.
Yeah.
Interesting games.
I agree.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I think I won the three-player games, which made like a lot of difference. It was I think it was a surprising result. But yeah, so sometimes it goes this way, and I had the card, I think, too. So yeah, it was nice, and yeah, I'm happy that we are going to play in a long time, because I'm maybe a little bit. I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit burnt by this tournament. So I'm happy that we have like a few months to sit back, and we'll see. We'll see next year how it goes.
I think the last few rounds are a bit stressful, perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was less so for me because I didn't play in the semifinals. So
You got to sit back.
I was actually looking forward to finally play again. So
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I think it's and it's a long run, so you have to wait for a long time, and it's a bit annoying. Well, you and me are the same about this. I think we don't like to wait a long time. So yeah, but yeah.
I think it definitely takes a bit of energy after when the tournament taking some months, and then getting more and more excited, and maybe more and more people following the games, and of course you want to put in a nice performance. So now I'm also happy that for the next World Championship it is with a format where there's now a little bit of a break for the players that have played in the finals.
And yeah, and I think like one of the costs I had to pay is like my other tournament games. It was like I played them like they were nothing. I played I think horribly in all my other games, because I just the World Championship game was the only one I could focus about, and all of the others it's like it was like whatever, I can do this. It's too draining. So very happy it's over too, so I can just play less stressful games maybe.
No, and pv4 just casually played 25 points in the Metso Championship season in parallel to the World Championship finals.
I just took advantage of everybody's over focus on the World Championship.
It's clever guy. But you don't care. You just play your turns, and it's World Championship or quick and dirty or just a public. It's the same for you.
Yeah, that's it. Just go to zero science, whatever.
Who cares? Just go with the flow.
Yeah. All right. Our recording, I can see, is already at 3 hours and 5 minutes at this point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it's approaching midnight, so maybe we should close this.
Yeah, thanks for everyone who has been bearing with us that long. But I hope it was also something special. I mean, something like this doesn't happen too often. So hopefully some people have the time for it to actually watch it.
In case it's like a super long movie.
It's very long. But yeah, maybe you can like skip the part of the players you don't like, and just listen to maybe the soothing voice of Weidenbaum talking about his turn very very cleanly, and maybe then it's faster.
Too late.
So
right.
So
we'll see you all at some future recordings, I suppose.
Maybe 2025 finals. Same 3-year-old
I wouldn't
guide.
have anything against it.
Okay. It's nice. It's nice.
All right. See you guys.
All right, then thanks everyone for watching, and goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.